Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
It's season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, as we are here for the closing moments of the group stages. That's going to be your boy Aggressor, joined by Floki. And honestly, Floki, it's been a long journey, a really, really long journey throughout the entirety of the group stages, watching these teams grow from where they began. They were infants at the start, and now they're fully grown up and they're ready to take the entire world by storm, which is going to be the playoffs. But before we do talk a lot more about that, let's head on down over onto today's fixtures and see exactly which of these teams are going to be up and ready to tear up the battlefield and see exactly who's going to be rising up to the challenge. And Floki, the 4 p.m. game is the most exciting one that I think we had in a really long time.
Oh yeah, Reckoning Esports going up against Truerippers. What an interesting match to have at first. A match that potentially could go the distance, and we could see 3 maps coming out today.
Yep.
The second match of the day is also quite interesting. You know, the two SK brothers going against each other. Global Esports versus Team Cohesion, SK WoW and SK Rossi. Locking horns. I'm pretty sure they're going to be excited for that as well. But before we move on to that, of course, Reckoning Esports versus Truerippers beckons, and I feel like this is one of those matches where you have to stay glued to your seat because you never know when the match is going to turn on its head. You never know when an eco round could just turn into a win, flip the economy on its head, and then all of a sudden you see the tempo shift. And you never know, an 8-4 scoreline could turn into a 12-9 scoreline at any point for the losing team. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting match to watch. I'm curious to see what Paradox pulls off this time.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one indeed. But before we do talk a little bit more about the teams, let's head on down over towards the MVP standings and give a little bit of a highlight towards the players instead, because both of these games that we have on 4 p.m. and also on the 8 p.m. are very big ones, because you need to remember something. Paradox, he was actually on the number 4 position where Raphael is now holding. This is Paradox's chance to break through and get on towards the side of the MVP standings one more time. You can easily throw raw field because you do need to remember that Enigma, they don't have any more games left. They're on their last legs, and raw field's not going to be able to perform anymore to try and keep his position on the MVP standings relevant moving on down the line, other than, of course, playoffs. So now it's Paradox's chance to push himself down and get to that number 1 position, possibly, or he could be taking the number 2 and 3, which is not that likely because right on the 8 p.m. game, both of the SK brothers, as you just highlighted, are going to be playing as well. The MVP standings, they're shaping up to be something spicy.
Yeah, they absolutely. Interesting details is this Knight Rider having won every single MVP vote, on his team for all the games that he's played so far.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. It's, of course, a very consistent performer, one on Force One, but of course, we're not going to be having a look at him today because, Force One aren't playing. The maps are all done. So Truerippers going up against the side of Reckoning. I've had the opportunity to watch Reckoning not only play Valorant but lots of other different games as well, and a lot of other titles. I've seen them perform. These guys know what they're doing. Most most of the time I've seen them. They've always ended up top 2, top 3 in almost every single tournament that they've participated in as an organization. In Valorant, I'm not too sure how far they can go, but today that's what we're here to find out, right? I mean, if they can make it to the playoffs, I'm pretty sure they can do a lot of damage and catch a lot of teams by the hip. But let's have a look at the group standings real quick and see what that's all about and see which team is going to make their way to the playoffs and which team is looking to inch into that spot to make their way there. So Reckoning, of course, in second place. This spot is pretty much secure, isn't it?
Yeah, when it comes down to the terms of getting into playoffs, there's nothing to really worry about. They've already done it all. There's nothing going to be changed about any of this. But at the same time, what is going to be changed is Truerippers trying to fight for that number 1 seed. Because you do need to remember, ladies and gentlemen, having the number 1 seed basically means you have a massive advantage because you as a team, you're going to be going against the 2nd seed when it comes down to Group B. So whoever is at the 2nd seed are going to be a little bit of an easier matchup for you as you don't have to face the number 1 from the side of Group B. So in a way, Truerippers, this is their chance to take that number 2 position away from Reckoning, force them down over to that 3rd and 4th position where it wouldn't be as favorable for them, but at the same time, Reckoning, they don't really have anything to lose yet. And so on the side of Truerippers, it's all about the standings and it's all about how you're going to be moving on down forward on towards the side of the playoffs. I do believe personally that Truerippers, they're going to be bringing their A game, and so will the side of Reckoning, because they know for a fact they're going to be needing to put the pedal to the metal. Otherwise, there is no way that both of these teams are going to be able to take a win against another, because both of these teams, they're the real underdogs of the story. They're the ones who have risen up to the challenge from the very start all the way to the very end. Honestly, tell me here, Floki, did you even expect Truerippers and Reckoning to be the best teams in the entirety of the group stage brackets? Like, we didn't expect any of this. We thought that Velocity were going to be at the very top. It's going to be Enigma on the close second. Enigma, yes, they're at the number 1 position, but they had a pretty rough start. And when you consider all of this happening here, it's an absolute mind-boggling thing. But let's talk a little bit more about the teams as we head on down over towards the side of the team spotlight for Reckoning Esports, ladies and gentlemen. And Floki, walk us right through this squad, because honestly, they've been making massive strides in our entire scene.
Yeah, Trist, Panzer, you, and Bondev. I mean, a lot of these names are gonna sound familiar to players who have been, or even spectators who've been watching for quite a while. Ewan and Bondev, they've made their name in, tactical shooters before this as well. So these guys are an experienced lot. I haven't really had the opportunity to watch the rest of the squad as much, so I'm not too sure what they bring to the table, but I'm quite sure with the experience that Ewan and Bondev bring, they are going to be feeling very, very comfortable. And you have to remember that whenever you bring an experienced individual into a team, they're going to be able to guide their team through situations that they previously haven't been in. So even though they might find themselves in positions where they are a little bit unfamiliar with and they're not entirely sure what to do, just having those sorts of players and experienced players on your team that can sort of help you alleviate that stress and be like, look, hey, if A happens, you do B. If B happens, you do C. And if this happens, you do nothing at all. Let them dig their own grave. Which is sometimes often lacking when you put up rosters comprised entirely of new talent, right? When you don't have that guiding force, what ends up happening is that teams can tend to panic. When they find themselves in unfamiliar situations, they break under the stress. They make moves that probably they wouldn't if they were watching what they were doing. So that's just having those kind of voices really helps. Apart from that, though, I'm very excited to see what Trist and Panzer bring to the table, because I've never seen these guys play before. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, I mean, I haven't got any of the matches yet, so this is going to be a first one for me. And I don't even know what roles they play. Maybe you can fill me in on that, Aggressive.
And we're going to be talking about the roles soon enough, but at the same time, let's see who's going to be the guiding light coming on down through for the side of Reckoning, ladies and gentlemen, as we head on down over onto their player spotlight powered by AMD Ryzen Radiant. And right on the spotlight is going to be none other than Bondef. And now, you were saying, Floki, that they need a little bit of voice. They need someone to reel them back. They need someone to stop them from overcommitting on multiple different angles. And honestly, I think that Bondev is the first person that needs to come in your mind whenever you're thinking of those type of situations. This guy has so much experience under his belt that he's going to make a lot of the other veterans feel a little bit shaky on their own boots. Because this guy has proven himself over and over again to be an incredible duelist player. The amount of performances that he has given and the way he's able to carry his team on his back when they need him the most is one of the main reasons why Bondef is here on the spotlight. Him being on that raise with 233 kills, 184 deaths, 79 assists, by the way, on the raise, and a 248 ACS Floki. I think that Bondef could be one of the main closing factors for this entire matchup because Truerippers, they're a team that cannot be taken by.
Absolutely, I feel like Bondef is one of those players that you have to respect. You know, you're not going to be able to pull up slide tricks on him. He's privy to almost every single one of them, courtesy of his incredible wealth of experience that he's had. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to try to one-up Bondef, you better be prepared and you better really think that one through because this man is not going to let you just one-up him every now and then. Because him having, him playing that race, just having that explosive firepower, just the ability to clear out multiple places and just, pull out that showstopper when needed and really punish the enemies for attempting to rush the site is, of course, going to be very fun to watch to see how many multi-kills he can get. But yeah, what Bondef really brings to the table is consistency, and that consistency can go a very, very long way. You don't need someone who frags out and gets aces and quadra kills. You just need someone who frags out consistently every single round. Just finding those one or two picks is very, very important, and Bondef is the man who does that.
Yeah, that's one of the main things that a lot of people don't really understand. What separates a puck player that is a puck stomper from a professional player? It's their consistency. A professional player can always be consistent no matter what happens to them, and Bondef brings that level of consistency for the side of Reckoning. And will it be consistent here, though, enough for his team to push on down the juggernauts that are the side of Truerippers who have been taking the entire scene by storm? That's going to be the real question. But at the same time, as we are talking about the side of Truerippers, let's head on down over onto their team spotlight and see exactly who's going to be firing it up from their end to take up the side of Reckoning and maybe, stop the entire war from ending in the process. These guys, are they going to be the Avengers or are they going to fall flat on their faces?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch because Truerippers, I mean, they've made a name for themselves, haven't they? All of these players, Relic, Master, One Tap God, Paradox. I mean, every single time you see them on the server, you have to respect them. But the question is, have they earned the respect of Reckoning? That's the bigger, question to answer. Because Reckoning, if they continue to play their own game, Truerippers, they could be thrown a little bit off guard. I've watched these guys multiple times. I've seen them play other tournaments as well. And Truerippers, if they get far enough ahead, they do tend to start slipping up a little. They get a little bit hasty to close out their game. They're like, hey guys, we almost got this, just one round remaining. Everybody goes berserk. Everyone starts speaking 3 different places at once, and they just start dropping like a set of houseflies. So yeah, you really have to make sure that Truerippers, they are reined in properly and are geared to take this game because. While I don't think the spot is under any threat, it's a good practice to just to be in that spot of not overextending, of not really saying, of not really thinking that the game is over until it's actually over, right? Otherwise, you fall into that false sense of security, and it ends up biting you later.
Yeah, so let's head on down over towards the side of the player spotlight for Truerippers, ladies and gentlemen, powered by AMD Ryzen Radiant, and see exactly who is going to be the one to bring in the most amount of pain, and it's going to be none other than Crosshair being on the spotlight. And honestly, Floki, this guy, he deserves to be on that spotlight. Him being on that Sova feels like I'm watching a duelist rather than an initiator from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the pleasure of watching a lot of SOA players, but Crosshair really brings out the offensive potential that SOA offers. A lot of people don't really think of SOA as an agent who can be that aggressive, but Crosshair makes it work. The way he uses his recon darts and Owl Drone to push in and put the enemy team in uncomfortable positions.
Like all
Yeah,
of his records are like pseudo flashes, and I'm like, bro, why are you swinging with a record bolt? And then he just taps 2 people out of existence. I'm like, all right, Crosshair, okay.
exactly. He forces enemies into that 50-50. Like, are you going to aim for my head instead, or are you going to go for the recon bolt? And just putting enemies in that spot mentally gives him the edge that he needs to just try and win out those duels. And Crosshair is someone that you should almost never count out when there's a clutch situation, because this guy, he will whittle you down little by little, catch you by the hip. You're not going to see it coming. And before you know it, it's going to be down to a 1v1, and you don't want to be in that spot. But with that said, Crosshair alone can't do all that much work. Crosshair is just one man. He's part of a big team and a big puzzle. So yeah, it's gonna come down to how the rest of the team plays as well. Master, Paradox, every single one of them have to come together as a unit to try and make sure that they're able to play against the side of Reckoning. Because Reckoning is a team that will punish your mistakes. You act recklessly, well, it's in their name. It's gonna be your Reckoning.
Yeah, that is true. But at the same time, they need to be very careful because the side of Truerippers, there's something very different. They are rambunctious, but at the same time, there's an order to their chaos. And let's see exactly where the chaos is about to unfold as we head on down over towards the map veto screen, ladies and gentlemen. Because honestly, I'm really excited to see what the teams have picked up for us when it comes down to the terms of the battleground. And right off the bat, we're going to be seeing Haven. And honestly, Floki, I want to ask you something. Right at the very beginning, when we were just at the stages of trying to understand this game, a lot of the teams were always picking Ascent. Ascent was that staple pick for a region for the very first map. There was nothing different. We got sick of Ascent. And now,
Absolutely.
finally, in season number 2, Ascent is like a secondary. Sometimes Ascent isn't even picked up. And
Oh
now
yeah.
Haven's the first map every single time. I want your
Yes.
idea on this a little bit. Why are people picking Haven so much in comparison to any other map?
I think Haven is just one of those maps that is going to be practiced a lot and it's going to be played a lot by a lot of teams. I'm not too sure behind what the reason is for Haven being that well played, but I do know why Ascend doesn't get picked up as much. A lot of teams just like to keep this map in their back pocket, and they have particular strats for it that they run if Ascend does end up coming. That's why you see a lot of variations in the lineup that teams run on Ascend. Occasionally, you'll see an Omen on Ascend, you'll see a Brimstone, you'll see a Cypher come out every now and then. You're going to see potentially a Sky, which usually should be the staple, but sometimes you even see that SOA or that Breach come through. So Ascent, it really is more of an art form than a hardcore science. Compare that to certain maps like Breeze, where you pretty much almost always need a Viper or 2 controllers. Yeah, this is not the case with Ascent. Haven, though, to come back and try and answer your original question, I feel like Haven also has some of that art attached to it. We've seen people run different duels. We've seen them run Reyna. We've seen them run Jets. We've seen them run Razors. Phoenix has also, been in the spotlight a couple of times. The only thing that's remaining is going to be that good old Yoru. But I doubt he's going to see a lot of play going into Haven. Maybe there's some potential for it on other maps, but yeah, I guess the only real reasoning I have for Haven being picked up as often is just because people are starting to realize that you can experiment a bit more with Haven, that Haven is a little bit more open-ended than most people would like to think.
Yeah, Haven is one of those maps where the strat book needs to be very, very diverse. You can't really go in for one single strategy over and over again, especially when 2 high-level competitors are going up against one another. That's why I do believe that Haven, in my personal opinion, is picked up a lot more in comparison to any other map. Haven is the one specific map where you can take down even other experienced teams if you have a strategy that they don't really know. Haven is one of the few maps that I would say where the strategic diversity really does separate an underdog team from a big dog team, because even an underdog team could have a strategy that these juggernauts don't even know about that could throw them off guard, and that will take them a little bit of time to understand how to actually counter. These are the type of plays that you can expect there, while on Ascent and maps like Split, it's much more one-dimensional. You don't have a lot of differences. And in that way, I do believe that Haven could just be an interesting pickup for both of these teams. But ladies and gentlemen, the agent selection is ready. So let's head on down over on towards that screen and see exactly what the teams are cooking up for us when it comes down to the terms of the agents. Truerippers, they're not going in for anything just yet, but for the side of Reckoning, I do see a Sky getting picked up, and I'm kind of excited, but at the same time scared, because you know for a fact that I'm not a big advocate of the Sky alone on Haven.
Yeah, Sky often just feels a lot better as a part of double initiator setups. I said it. I said it, didn't I? The only thing that was remaining was the Euro pick, and they do it. Twist picks it up. And we're going to see a triple duelist lineup coming through for the first time around. Okay, if I'm being perfectly honest, this is the last game of the group stage for Reckoning. They know for a fact that this really isn't going to affect how they play all that much. So this could just be them fooling around. So, I mean, yeah, when you're in the spot, when you have this final game remaining in your group stage, you're just telling yourself, let's just have some fun. Why does it matter? Pick up the Yoru. You want to pick a Breach? Go ahead and pick a Breach. You want to pick Jet? Go ahead and pick Jet. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. The Haven and Ascent a lot more like art forms compared to hardcore natural sciences. You can see the Breach, you can see the Sky, you can see the Soa. The only agents that we haven't seen on this map were the KO as well as the Yoru, and today we've even seen the Yoru a little. So I mean, we've pretty much. Okay, a triple initiator comp going up against a triple duelist comp. How the tables have turned. I mean, aggressive. We are going to have one interesting match at hand. That's what I can say. I mean, we have tons of flashes. We've got tons of utility to dump out and just take fights. I think we're going to see a lot of bloodshed today. I doubt if we're going to get to see a proper buy round as well. If, teams decide to force buy every single round.
It's going to be an interesting one to say the very least. Both of these teams are going to be having a little bit of fun on towards the server, but at the same time, a little bit too much fun could end in them losing as well. So I really want them to see this through to the very end in a much more of a serious light. So let's head on over towards the game, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly how the teams are going to be playing this one up.
Boy, I have to say, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Breach, but the Breach...
I'm excited to see how Euro works. Yeah.
I don't know either, in fact. I feel like Euro is just one of those agents that's really good at misinformation. That's his game. But what do you do on offense? Like, what do? You just, like, throw a fake out and then maybe, I don't know, try and catch a defender offside? I feel like Euro, like many other duelists, needs a lot of initiators to work. But I'm going to hold on to that for now. We have Ewan just pushing up inside. Okay, they're just gonna find a couple of kills like that right off the bat. Very interesting, and there you go. I mean, the spike is already planted. 2 initiators taken off, so are still surviving, and Relic comes in to try and clean up, but gets quickly cleaned up by the Trist Yoru. 2v3 now. They try to move into this site and to pinch them, but they don't have the numbers to do this. And now it's all down to Master. He's just trying to hightail it and run. Just trying to take fights one at a time, so maybe he can get at least one pick, but it's not gonna happen. He sees 3 players, somehow survives to tell his children of the tale that is to come. But can he actually find some more kills? That's the question. No, he cannot. There's only so much Master can do. And yeah, a very interesting first round coming in from Reckoning. It's a straight up mid-rush.
Gonna be able to do a lot there, but at the same time, I do believe that Truerippers, they just got caught off guard way too hard here. They were not expecting it to play out like that, but at the same time, hey, it's a triple duelist composition. Somewhere, in some way, shape, or form, they're gonna be going in for rushes, and you need to be prepared for that. And in a way, with this first initial round, I do believe that Truerippers, they're gonna be able to dip their toes into the sea of this triple duelist composition that Reckoning have cooked up for them, but in a way, this could be dangerous as well here. You don't know what to expect. You don't know how the fights are going to be going. So I really want to see the side of Truerippers maybe play it a little bit more defensively and play based upon retakes. Because with the triple initiator composition, you actually have a lot of utility to retake sites. So you don't need to go in for holes. Just play it safe, play it smart. Don't play risky whatsoever, because as soon as they enter the site, they have no more utility. They need to purely rely on gunfights. And how are they going to be relying on gunfights when there's a flashpoint, that Sky... a Skybird, a Sky Dog, a Sova Owl Drone, a Sova Recon Bolt, a Sova Shock Darts are all just being thrown at you. And other than that, it's going to be a couple of smokes from Paradox, maybe to just, blind them out a little bit, or maybe save them from the pain accidentally in the process.
I mean, just capitalize on the insane amount of flash and utility you have, right? Just keep dashing in, just keep being aggressive. And for the time being, we're going to see Reckoning do exactly that. The bird comes out towards C-Long. There's absolutely no one over here. One player in garage, but that's just a classic. He does do damage with it. One tap god is going to be cleaned up along with Paradox and Relic, who are trying to get the black stat going. But as quickly as this round has started, it's already over. And Truerippers, I mean, they haven't really put up any kills on board, but maybe Master with the sneaky positioning can catch someone off guard. No, he misses. He whiffs the classic and he's dead.
Oh, he clearly just got knifed.
Yeah.
Bruce is like, yo, let me get that knife. BRZ's like, no, we're playing a tournament. Even though we're playing triple duelist, we're going to be playing it separately. Be a good boy. Don't try and throw it. Don't disrespect.
They've already disrespected them, though. I mean, you pick 3 duelists, that doesn't really say that you consider the opponent a big threat, right? I mean, you don't pick triple duelists when you know that you're going
It's a
against
viable
a good
strategy.
team.
It's a
an
viable
open.
strategy.
Okay, let me just put it this way: it's an open-ended strategy, right? Because you have lots of options available to you. It's just that all of those options are just kind of crap. So you just fall into the trap of trying to fake them out. One tap god right off the bat, flashing them out. And Paradox is gonna find Yuban, so that's gonna give them a lot of space to work with. Okay, Bonnef is also gonna be taken on, and that's actually the spike outside Garage. And okay, Truerippers are taking the fight too. Then not holding at all, no respect given whatsoever. Relic throwing down stars, but he hasn't seen the Omen go into Garage. Finally does, and he's gonna be able to clean him up. Patience, his prize.
Well, I think that the only patient players are actually Masters and a little bit from the side of Bones, but that's pretty much it. Everyone else just went in for a mad dash towards that B-long position and towards the side of Garden. So in a way, it's not a bad thing. They understood what they really needed to do, and that's another way of playing this triple initiator composition. Initially, what was I saying? Play for the retakes. Or they could actually turn the defending side into an attacking side by forcing all of the utility and then just corralling the entirety of Reckoning into one single position. And that's exactly what they did there. And they were able to take this fight beautifully. But Paradox,
oh my god,
a little bit too aggressive. No smokes whatsoever on towards the side of mid window. Just cost them this entire thing. One tap squad's gonna be good for one. Bones is actually gonna be good with the spray now! Bones! You just don't do them like that, but at the same time, Reckoning, you also don't enter a psych like that. Oh no, that's gonna hurt a lot, especially when it comes under the terms of the eco.
Yeah, I was very surprised they threw a single flash to try and feel out where Bones' position. Nope. Nothing at all. Just walk in there into Bones' crosshair and feed him a triple. Paradox actually setting that bait up perfect because he's done that 2 rounds in a row now, so they were expecting him to do this again. This time around he gets punished, but it was all a trap. I mean, Bones was waiting for it. He was almost a little bit ahead of his own teammates there. He knew what Paradox was going to do as well. Maybe there was some communication there, like, I'm going to go out there, might die, but, I'm going to set you up for success. Just make sure you don't give any sign of where you position whatsoever.
And honestly, at this point, it's Paradox. He just wants to keep on going. Who does this? Poor old Juven! Oh no, Juven. His feelings just got toyed with at Paradox. I understand that you're feeling yourself like that. I understand you just want to keep on going, but Bones?
Okay.
Oh no, he just got Euroed on. And the assassination attempt is on, ladies and gentlemen. He has a short in his hand, probably. Come on, assassinate him! But the assassination's not gonna go through! Trist! In that process of trying to go in for that kill, he killed out 2 of his teammates. They're just not gonna go find them. Flashes are going in left. Flashes are gonna go in right. PRC, he's not gonna be able to find that spray, and one tap God just gets the second kill as well. I thought that the hero was gonna be going in for an assassination attempt. Basically, the thing that I mean by an assassination attempt is you having a shorty, going into your ultimate, popping out in front of his face and just blasting him. And I'm kinda sad, man. I thought that he was gonna go for it.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird. I was surprised by how he just casually walked by and Relic just completely ignored him. He's like, yeah, I know you're not gonna pop out until your ult ends. Just casually gets 2 kills. Really good stuff by him. And now you can see the change of pace coming in. Paradox is no longer pushing anywhere. It's actually left over to one tap God, who's gotten himself in a good position actually. Might not expect him to swing from the other side. Yuvan, he catches his head, sees it, but can't really give him a haircut. Master scouting things out as well with his owl drone, will spot out the sky. And there you go, that's 2 players that you're aware of on the side of Truerippers. What do you do with this information? You have 3 initiators, a duelist and controller, and your duelist is down. Paradox got a little bit too eager, and PZN was waiting for him to make that mistake. Okay, flash has come through. Paradox is, not Paradox, one tap God is still okay. Master completely blind, but does do a fair bit of damage. Bondef, we have a lot of life remaining, and one tap God is still alive. He's trying to fight, and he will stay alive. He takes out JN as well. The site has been locked down, and Trist, he's coming in from B.
No,
I think you're gonna see him coming, but no! The Phantom! Hey, oh no! God, the situation where you'd rather have a Vandal here. As Trist, he got the headshot but couldn't convert the kill. BLZ should be able to find it though, and he does. It's gonna be a 2v2 now. And the breach. Zalt is ready. You know what this means, Assassin?
Yes, I'm assassin. I'm no longer aggressive.
I-
But yeah,
I mean,
I really do know what it means here. Bones
You
could
said
just
assassin,
shake
I
up the no. Bones could shake up the bones of his
player
opposition, but I think that the only thing that's gonna get shaken up is one tap's head. He's gonna get taken out. Bones is trying his best to maybe find something here, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get it. One on his left, one on his right. There's no way he's gonna be able to find anything here. Swings around the corner, wants to go in for that kill, but BRZ's crosshair placement is just a little bit too little too good. And now,
Oh yeah.
can we talk about the fact that I'm assassin and no longer aggressive?
No, it's because you
What?
say I remember you saying you calling Euro an assassin, and for some reason that stuck in my head. And I was like, yeah, assassin. I was like, no, it's aggressive.
No.
Assassin is manning the production. But hey, assassin, how you doing? Can hear you in the production. But yeah, apart from that, a very interesting round coming in. Paradox just can't seem to just chill out and play from the side. He's just a bit too aggressive every single time. Now he's gonna be having a weapon and that enables him to be that aggressive, and that's the operator. Whips the first shot, and look at JN. Doesn't matter if he's concussed, he still finds one tap god with those knives there. Oh, the short dart! He avoids it by updrafting in the nick of time. He's gonna stay alive there. Relic pushes out, not something you expect from your controller player. And guess what? That Phantom, it has been retrieved and will be dropped over to one of their teammates. They can try and make this round work. It was a buy. It's not like they really.
Oh no,
needed that.
Masters.
And but Master, okay, he's gonna find that kill through the wall.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt just a tiny little bit. Everyone seems to be jiggling out Paradox today. Paradox not really able to find a lot of his shots, but at the same time, he could be finding it here. He knows for a fact that these guys, if they want to jiggle, he's gonna make sure he makes them pay the ultimate price. Goes in for that shot. He's gonna be able to find it, but it seems that he's right on the left side. They don't know, but Paradox is gonna be the backup to shut down Triss. One by one, they're gonna be able to find it all. And Paradox, he's gonna float up in the air like a butterfly and then jump down and stay with the process as well. 4 and 3 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of Truerippers. And honestly, they're firing up on all cylinders. Both of these teams, in a way, yes, the compositions are a little bit mismatched, but at the same time, the match and the strategies are actually clean from both ends.
I mean, this is what I said, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed here. You've picked up triple duelists, you've picked up triple initiators. No one's really going to be sitting and waiting around for, the fight to come to them. They're going to take the fight to the other team instead. And even Relic seems to be on that boat despite playing the Astra. He's pushed out a couple of times now and found himself a couple of kills. But with this 5-man stack towards C main, I'm interested to see what they do. They smoke it off to try and make their way in there. Not too sure that's the wisest of ideas. Flash comes in, Relic is completely blind, but the counter flash comes in from Bones. Needs him alive, but he's only good for one. Paradox was able to find JN. That's all he can find one of them right now. It's all down to one tap god who avoids the paranoia, avoids the seeker, makes it out alive. And now they have to contend with Masters on. He's gonna be able to find 2 with that tag. Tying up every single player. Yeah, he's gotten everyone for that Hunter's Fury. And now it's gonna be him and one tap god to try and take this round. But
It's very much doable.
yeah, it is doable, but one tap god, he's so low, he might just die to a single bullet. Yeah, he does. But there's still Master alive, time remaining on the clock, 11 HP on Bondef. He's playing left and right, he's playing him like a fiddle right now, Master. I think Bondef might have just limited his options, but Master in the end will take it. Great stuff by Master there. I mean, the way Bondef was playing, I was a little afraid that he might actually clutch this round out, but
Yeah.
this is what happens when you bring the experienced guy over. I'm at 10 HP, there's no way I'm gonna man fight you. I'm just gonna jiggle you until you die.
Especially when you have a Spectre in your hand, just run and gun around the corner, don't really have to worry about anything, and somehow it's still gonna hit. Master, he nearly got caught out pretty badly in that situation, but in a way, hey, it's Master for you. He's always gonna be able to go in for clutches when his team needs him the most. So that's going to be working out in their favor. The triple initiator composition, yeah, it's working, but at the same time, the thing is, I still haven't seen a Rolling Thunder come out from Bones. And I've been waiting for that for a really long time. As a Breach, you need to recycle your ultimates, especially on Haven, where the ultimate points are pretty accessible if you want to go in for map control, which you should on this map in particular.
Absolutely, I feel like just Breach holding on to his ult is one of the biggest crimes in humanity. I feel like you should just pop it right off the bat. Worst case scenario doesn't hit anyone, but at least you clear that entire area out, right? If you don't hear the sound cue of someone going up in the air and dropping down on their feet, you know for a fact that the entire area that was scouted in red is fully clear. So, you know, I mean, just going ahead and using that, making sure you're able to progress to the next salt is always going to be useful, because you have to set that fear in the opponent's minds, right? Okay, this breach is not gonna, you know, sit down in one place. He's gonna rotate over, he's gonna pop the rolling thunder, and he's gonna try to find some space on the map. Right now, sure, you're holding on to that rolling thunder, you're just hoping to use it when you really need to. And so far, you really haven't found a use for it. Maybe this is the round where that changes. And Bones, he's actually pushing in. He might just have a big backstab coming in. Triss is gonna get taken out. One tap god, looking to find someone with the Hawks and the Seekers, but doesn't really tag anyone up just yet. Bones playing the lurk for his team, as he doesn't see anyone outside B. They should know this is a full C take coming in. JN holding that backside, trying to take out nothing but back. That was it, takes him out. A clean round coming in from Truerippers, as Relic, the only man who even took a little bit of damage. Great stuff coming in from Truerippers. They just completely rolled over Reckoning with that, and now Reckoning, they really have to be thinking to themselves, was this triple duelist lineup worth it?
Yeah, especially with the Euro on the map of Haven, I have no idea what they were trying to go for here. Euro, in my eyes, yes, it's a really strong character. Personally, I would say he's strong because my main duo partner, who I actually play ranked with, he's a Euro 1 trick, and he always picks Euro no matter what happens. So he can pull off a lot of incredible plays, but Haven is one of those maps where it's really difficult to get a lot of value out of the Euro because the flashes are not going to be able to flash multiple different angles. Your teleports are a little bit more one-dimensional. Yes, you can maybe go in for outplays with the footsteps, but when you're a professional player, the footsteps don't really matter. You already are going to be able to flick to the footsteps and then flick back almost immediately and pop a person in the head. You need to be very creative with the Euro, and creativity and trying to work so hard here on the map of Haven in particular is just super difficult. I don't know the plans coming on down through from the side of Reckoning, but hopefully this pause that they have taken lets them stabilize, lets them have that mental break that they needed to maybe come together and finally understand what Truerippers are trying to employ. And whatever Truerippers is doing, it's not rocket science. They're just playing it together as a squad, and they're going in for that buddy system. The way that they were able to take over that round was primarily because Paradox and Relic, they played together in perfect cohesion with one another.
Absolutely, and you have to remember that, you know, the fact that they have triple duelists basically means that the only options are really to go or not to go. There can't be an in between there. And Paradox, he's just punishing the side of Reckoning. He's found 2 kills so far. The spike has been dropped at mid, and they're gonna have to recover this one. It's not gonna be easy. They're holding on to it now. The Euro still perched outside garage, but Relic just eats a shot to the head through the wall, down to 20 HP. It's all down to JN. Tries to make something happen, but can't do all that much. I mean, you know, I have to say, I mean, the only option that the side of Reckoning have remaining right now is just to try and fake out aggression at some part of the map. You know, you need to force out those rotations, because you can see Truerippers, they're very, very active in taking the map. As soon as they have an inkling of where the enemy team is, the rotations start pouring in. You need to punish that. I mean, if you are Reckoning, it's a lot easier to, you know, sort of figure that out if you're just spectating this game and have a bird's eye view. But if Reckoning have that figured out, they could potentially clean these last 2 rounds and make the defense a little bit easier.
Try something a little bit more different, but I don't think it's gonna be as easy moving on down the line here. But with the garage control now being present, the renovation squad is already here. But I don't think they want to renovate the garage angle, not just yet, because Bones is gonna be the first one to get a kill down over towards the side of Triss. He's gonna be the one to push himself down forward, but he's just a good player. He's gonna do the hold down the 4, take 2 kills for himself. One tap god's gonna be good for 1. Paradox on the back end's gonna be good for another one, but BRZ, they get a sneaky kill on towards the side of Masters, but in this 1 versus 3 situation here, Loki, I don't think he's gonna be able to do much. He's gonna get caught out, get tagged in the leg, and Paradox is just gonna dash forward. But right at the end, Relic comes down through with the run and gun to finish everything off. And one tap god, he's just fanning himself off, being like, "Ooh, that was a close round." But in reality, it wasn't that close.
Absolutely, and Bones still hasn't popped his ultimate. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I want to see that rolling thunder. I want him to shake the bones of his opponents. Come on, man, your name is Bones. Do something about it.
I mean, Rolling Thunder is probably one of the most fun ultimates to use, apart from the showstopper in game, right? I mean, what ult exists that you can literally decimate an entire squad and just set you up for so many easy kills. Not a lot of them.
Don't forget, you can also teabag in front of your opponents if they're bad and they're not going to be able to hit you.
Oh my god, BRZ, he saw the TP through and got shot in the head. Took a lot of damage for his troubles, and Paradox finishes him off. Master still holding on for the time being. They clear that angle Seeker. It's on him, and they finally realize that he's in the corner there. Triss is going to be able to take out 2 with the Spectre, making it a 2v2. It's all down to one tap. Gordon Bones to try and hold this one out. You've been still waiting for someone to come in from the defender spawn side, but Bones is not moving. He has the ult. The spike is spotted. They don't need to make any plays.
You can just wait. They don't really need to worry about anything, but at the same time, with the flash in hand, the flash is going to allow Triss to pick up the spike at the bare minimum, but the positions are just not good. Easily, they're going to be the ones to maybe die out here. The ultimate has been popped, and the assassination attempt is on the cards. Will Triss actually go in for it? Is going to be the real question. No one's going to be close to him, and Bones, he understands. He just needs to walk back. They don't know where he is exactly. Maybe going for that shot. The swing is going to be good from the side of Juven, but Bones, he crouches early to dodge out the headshot from
30
Juven.
seconds left.
Good positioning coming on down from his part and good reactive play, but now it's Triss versus the entire world. No heal, has 2 flashes, and has a footstep to work with. Are we going to be seeing an incredible Euro outplay, being able to take down 2 players? Or is he going to fall flat on his face trying to flash himself?
I mean, I feel like he has potential here to use that fake out right after that flash, but no, he's not gonna pop it. And they have an idea where he could be. The Rolling Thunder goes through, clears up pretty much the entirety of the side apart from platform. They don't hear anything or anyone dropping, so they have an idea that he's not there in the vicinity. They are a little confused. They think he's on C long, but one tap god will turn around in the nick of time. Make sure they don't get backstabbed, as Bones is just gonna throw the sun in the eyes of one tap god.
The best possible situation here would have been to use the fake out on towards the side of C-Long, and as soon as Bones pop the ultimate, press that fake out and make the fake footsteps heading on down over towards the side of C-Long. In that situation, they would have expected him to be down towards the side of C, allowing Triss to go in for easy 1 kill at the bare minimum. Isolate that 1v1, get that shot off, and then go in for another swing and be able to take down Bones. But in a way, I do believe that Triss, he panicked just a little bit. His playbook was massive, but was just not able to make a full utilization out of it. But it's already fine and dandy. When you're in such clutch situations, it's really hard to make those decisions, especially when you are on the Euro. The Euro is just so difficult to get a lot of value out of unless you're thinking about what to do next, how your opponents are thinking. So in a way, that was a round they should have won, but at the same time, it's completely fine and dandy. Don't really worry about it. But
Here.
he just walks out of garage on the pistol round. Sure.
I mean, no flash, no utility, no problem. Triss is gonna flash himself in. Tough spot to play, but he's not able to get the kill in time, and now it's down to him with the classic. He's trying to go towards the backside, and there you go. They will find those kills. But the retake is coming through.
1 enemy remaining.
Truerippers, they're trying to make this work, and they will not be able to. Reckoning, they hold on. They're gonna be able to get that defuse down. As Truerippers get a little bit too ahead of themselves, but the good news is they get the spike down, so they could force in the next round and just shut the tempo down for Reckoning Esports right off the bat.
That was a little bit questionable to say the very least, but at the same time, hey, I did not believe that Truerippers even expected such a push to come on down through from the side of Reckoning. They expected them to play it a little bit more slow, show them a lot more respect, but Bondef in the corner is like, what do you mean respect? Do you know who I am? I am Bondef. I'm gonna swing the corner from garage and I'm gonna send someone back home. And I'm gonna die in the process. He's gonna die in glory. He's gonna go to Valhalla for sure.
Okay,
Oh, look at this! He's for sure gonna go to Valhalla.
Absolutely,
Okay.
but okay, a drive-by by running with the classic, and Ewan answers back fittingly, takes out 2 with that coast, and all of a sudden it's just one tap god with 17 HP to work with. As JN trying to get that kill, a whip of a classic, and he's gonna die, but oh my god, these Yoru flashes doing more harm than good. One tap god gets one before he dies. And
Hey, I
he's
told you,
about
didn't I? I told you, didn't I? Sometimes when you do a Euro flash, you're probably gonna flash yourself in the process. Doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter if you're the best Euro in the entire world, you're still sometimes gonna flash yourself. So don't worry, Triss. It happens to the best of us.
I mean, imagine this, right? you look at this Asian in the trailer and you think to yourself, wow, he looks so cool. I bet he must be an overpowered character. And then you go into the game,
No, then you look at
and
the
all he's
split.
doing is flashing himself every single time he goes. And you think to yourself, why did I put myself in this situation? Give yourself
Well-
that Ryan Reynolds treatment. Start explaining how you got there. Well, they're gonna be walking into an open B site. The plant is also gonna go down. Bones is gonna be working towards that rolling thunder towards the end there. Relic gets properly flashed this time around, but no follow-up there. They don't know that Relic is still playing that position. You win. He's coming in from the back, but he really hasn't found any kills just yet. He can hear someone in there, but he cannot really land the shots. Relic is going to be able to get that kill in return. And Ewan is going to try his best to prevent them from coming in, but Relic is still able to get the kill. The Seekers, or rather the heal, looking to come through from the sky. But now it's all down to Bondef and Master. He's not going to let Bondef slip by. Great stuff coming in from Truerippers again.
It's just about easy pickings for them at this stage. 10-5 on the scorecards. The triple initiator composition that they have is such a good counter for the triple duelist composition because you're facing utility versus almost no utility. Yeah, you're gonna say, hey, the Euro has a little bit of utility, the Reyna has a little bit of utility, and they have a Sky, but maybe if they had a Sova, things would be a lot more better, but having a Sky instead of a Sova, that's a massive question mark in my eyes because a solo initiator, if you're considering any, other than Split of course, you need to have a Sova. Without a Sova, it's so difficult to get a lot of value out of your duelist. And in this situation, it feels like Juven and JN, they're feeling that pressure.
Planted.
Absolutely. Look at that beautiful cosmic divide coming through though. Giving them so much space to work with, but they're not going to be aware of... Okay, Ewan's going to be able to find that kill regardless. Master taken down on one tap god. He's the only person holding them back. He's going to find the one kill, but the recon dart is on his back. So
One enemy
off that, Bondef will find that
One enemy
kill.
remaining.
It's all down to Paradox. There'll be 1v1 between him and one tap god. Paradox will win it out this time. He gets his revenge. As one tap god, he had really been a thorn Paradox's side for quite some time, but
Need a drop.
he's able to win that duel eventually. I mean,
That's
I
what-
don't mean one tap, but I mean Bondef.
Yeah. Both have gotten Bondef, man. Both of these are very incredible Sky players, so I don't really judge you for saying their names wrong
I mean,
because both of them are playing out of their minds.
No, both of them have just been peaking right away. I mean, these guys are just not playing this guy. They're playing it like a duelist every single time. I guess one tap god has been playing a little bit more restrained compared to Bondef. But even then, he's been peeking out every single time that he's got an opportunity to do so. And now Biazi bringing out the good old judge as Paradox just pressing
They don't
W
know.
straight ahead, running and gunning, but the Phantom is not that good at that job. Vector does him a lot better. Bones is going to be able to trade them out though. As the breach on that ready tries to fake them out, the judge
One enemy
at this
remaining.
distance should not be
Spike
able to
down
find a
A.
kill. Why is that a thing?
Because Valorant and because Riot. Riot Games, please fix.
Shoot me already. I hate that weapon so much.
Hey, it's the judge, the jury, and the executioners.
Sure is. The fake out comes through from Triss. That actually gives away the position of the Euro, so he knows where he is now. And that sound might have given away where the Omen is.
One
He's gonna
enemy
expect this
remaining.
push,
He
though.
knows.
Yes, he is. He's gonna get paranoid up. He's still gonna
Relic.
find the kill. What?
That's Relic.
Too sharp for them.
Yeah.
That's just a Relic effect, man. Relic is just too good at these
point.
clutch situations, and I personally do believe that they made way too much sound. They need to show Relic respect because this guy can get clutches out of absolutely nowhere. But at the same time, the positions were just not good. It felt like Reckoning, they were not holding crossfires whatsoever. And I don't know, man. It feels like if this is a telltale sign of how Reckoning are playing now, I'm kind of worried about what could happen in map number 2. Especially when you consider that being the home map for the side of Truerippers.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if Reckoning didn't have enough duelists. Bondef is playing that Sky aggressively. Every single opportunity is going and peeking out. And there's the rolling thunder that we were waiting for. It is going to push that jet all the way back to Bird's defender spawn, but she's coming back forward without that operator taking on multiple players. The
Oh, get
operator
the
doing
ace.
so
Give it to
much
him.
work. Just one tap god. Left here in a 1v4. The Hawk comes through and only blinds him, but he still gets the kill. No blind, no problem.
He's the one-tap god for a reason. He's just going around the map. He's just trying to find those heads. But he's just not able to get it. Not just yet. One-tap god. The spike is pretty much in no man's land. And they're trying to hunt him down. But one-tap god, he's going in for such a beautiful flank. If he's able to find this jet, though, he's going to be able to do a lot. But they already know. They smell one-tap god coming in from the back. JN, he's holding a very good position. But at the same time, is he expecting this? And yep, he's holding the corner. He should be able to get his ace, but JN, he's looking away. I don't like this. No, Floki, he's gonna die. He knows. He just smells him. Give him the ace. This man deserves it. And what that god just served it up to him on a silver platter. Beautifully done, ladies and gentlemen, from the side of Reckoning. And I think they heard me and they heard my calls. Floki, I just called that I'm kind of worried about the side of Reckoning, and James like, don't worry about it, aggressive. I got my team covered. I'm gonna step up, and I'm gonna step up massively with an ace on my naked opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, I don't even know where the last 18 rounds have gone. We're on a 19th one for now. It almost feels like the rounds have been happening in so quickly that honestly, this should be a half. Like, this just be a half. Considering how fast this game has gone, Ewan is going to be able to take out, I mean, Ewan is going to get taken out by Bones there. Neatly blinded. Trist narrowly avoids death, that Sheriff in his face, but manages to stay alive. And now one tap bomb with that jet smoke is also gonna get taken out as JN gonna give him the operator treatment. Master just trying to bait someone with that spike plant, but the spike still not being planted. Bones looking for the flank, will not succeed. And now it's just Master all by his lonesome. Paradox playing towards backside, but he's not really gonna be able to help him out all that much. Tries to go for the peak, but the operator's waiting for him.
Now it's just poor old Paradox versus the entire world. It's not going to be able to find that perfect crosshair placement. Paradox gets taken out by Bondef with the reverse swing. And 12-7 on the scorecards. And I'm kind of worried now, Floki. You know what happens when Truerippers enters this stage, right? I don't think I need to tell you.
I told you. I already told you before the game started. When they think that they've almost crossed the finish line, they get desperate. They make mistakes. They get a little bit too eager to take that W, and this is exactly what's happening. 3 rounds have gone. There's still ample of time remaining for them to just, figure out a way to make this work. But I have to say, at this rate, if they screw this round up, then I don't know if we're gonna be seeing this end well for Truerippers. Could potentially just go to overtime. Okay, Cheyenne not gonna be spotted out by the recon, but I think they have a fair idea that he could be here. The op gets fired with Paradox. He's pushed so far ahead, and Cheyenne is getting jiggled left and right. The Bondef won't cover him, but Master comes through. He's gonna be able to avenge his own Jet's death as he finds that kill. Flash comes through as well, and okay, the Yoru is all the way towards C, nowhere near to help his team out. Bondef just shutting everyone down, and now one tap god looking to do the same, but cannot see it through. Relic comes in with the flank, but Zika has spotted him, gets 1, gets 2 with the Phantom. Looking for the 3rd. The Yoru is closed in, but might know that he's on his way. The question is, where does he expect him to come from? Oh no, his read is completely wrong. Yep. He's gonna get taken out there. Bondef. Man, just shutting that round down completely. Yeah, and this is what I've been saying, despite him playing the Sky, he's pretty much playing like a duelist.
Hey, Sky is a pseudo duelist when you do look at her from a perspective of a normal player. Like, when you tried out Sky for the first time, trust me, you pretty much went in for pop flashes all the time and you didn't flash for your teammates even once.
Yeah.
Time to
well, it's gonna be interesting to see what ends up happening. It is an eco round coming in for the side of Truerippers. Oh my god, Paradox gets taken out by the operator in many range. Oh no! GN, he got revealed through that recon dart, and he's gonna be taken out by Relic, and operator up for the taking, but Ewan defending it with his life. Bones looking to fight tooth and nail to get it, but will fall in the end, leaving Master all by his lonesome on C-Long with the spike. Hasn't really been spotted just yet, so could just sneak his way in, but clearing the site is going to be a pain. I think he's going to make some noise, but he's been spotted. Screw noise. They know where he is. Oh my god. Doesn't matter though. Master still nutty as always with that Sheriff.
Yeah, Master's just way too good when it comes down to this singular weapon, but at the same time, I don't think this one weapon is gonna give him the win here. BRZ is gonna be the one to call him on his phone, ring it up, and just take him back home almost immediately. 12 and 9 on the scorecards as well. It's just not looking that good for the side of Truerippers. They're dropping rounds like flies here. They need to try and figure something out. They need to try and play it a little bit more slower, go for the ultimate point control. They need to calm themselves down. I do believe taking a pause here in this situation would be the best thing. Try to recollect themselves, understand what they need to do moving on down forward together as a squad because they're falling apart. And I'm really afraid here. 3 more rounds until even Stevens on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen. And Floki, things could go horribly wrong here.
They certainly could, but Paradox, he's just pressing W for now. JN, does he have his number? No, he does not. He gets taken out. All of the trade comes through. He's made enough space for Plant to go down. And now they can just play for Plant. Oh, but the breach gets spotted. You cleans them up. And now he's just looking to go forward and find all those kills. The Yoru acting as the eyes for the Reyna as he spotted out so many players. Trying to get the defuse going, but not really. One time's not going to be able to find one. Spike finally gonna be tapped. The Sova ult comes through, and they've done it.
Attackers win.
Truerippers, they get that kill, but just a sliver of time remaining in the end, and they're able to see it through it. Same stuff coming in from Truerippers. Sure, they were a little bit lax towards the end, but they managed to shut it down, and they're able to see it through. That's what matters. You know, we didn't go to overtime. We didn't see any crazy comebacks happening. It was Truerippers winning in true Truerippers fashion, but yeah, they did have us at the edge of the seats there for a couple of rounds.
Yeah, I was really worried for no apparent reason, but at the same time, Truerippers, you gotta stop toying with my feelings. Otherwise, I need to call an ambulance really soon. This entire season 2 has been me just having a lot of heart attacks in the process, getting close to one as well, ladies and gentlemen. And Truerippers, they're kind of making me bite my nails as well, and my nails are just not gonna be looking good enough in this situation. But hey, they were able to close everything down and they were able to find it all in their favor. So let's head on down over towards the side of the match, allies, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what went wrong for the side of Reckoning, how they really did get countered up till the very end. And Floki, in my eyes personally, I do believe that Reckoning, they fell short when it came down to the terms of the composition. Yes, the Euro is a really good pickup, but he needs a lot more utility to back him up for him to be much more useful when it comes down to professional play. In ranked, you can get away with a lot of the plays that Tris was trying to pull off here, but in this type of situation, especially against another pro team, it just was not cutting it. There was not enough utility present on the map to try and clear a lot of the angles that Truerippers had control of when you consider them having a triple initiator composition. Triple initiator, man. All of the 3 cancers in one server. Yeah, I don't want to step into that battlefield whatsoever.
I mean, hey, if they went for K, it would be a 4th, and they'll have even more flashes to work with. I mean, but apart from that, you have to remember that the way the side of Reckoning played this, it looked good for the first few rounds, but when you don't really get all those many rounds on offense with a triple duelist comp, defense is almost impossible. You can't really stall the pushes. All you can do is just, flip a coin, do a 50-50, and hope that at least one of your lurks on the duelist comes through, and you're able to just get yourself that big backstab going. Never really happened for Reckoning, though. I mean, Reckoning, they were able to hold on with the operator, but there's only so much Jane can do, right? I mean, he can give you 1 round, he can give you 2 rounds on his back, but expecting him to win the entire game for you on the back of that gun is just a little bit too much, in my opinion. I feel like if they, maybe spread out the love a little bit, instead of going for a triple duelist, maybe pick up a secondary initiator, they would have a lot better time utilizing the Yoru. But yeah, I guess today just wasn't Trist's day, as I saw him trying to go for a lot of those plays, but in the end, it's a Yoru. He's getting reworked for a reason.
Yeah, Euro is actually a good character, man. The thing is, Loki, I have seen what a Euro can do when I play with my duo partner. We rank up in like Immortal Plus, Immortal 1 and 2. So he did pull off a lot of incredible plays and got a lot of good assassinations, but it only does work out against unorganized teams. Maybe a couple of the underdogs down below, but against the top dog like Truerippers, yeah, the Euro plays are just not going to be that potent. Plus, you need to think a lot and you need to outsmart your opponents constantly, not just in one round, but in every single round, because these guys' aim it's just cracked out of their minds. Just look at Paradox swinging around corners. JN also swinging around corners. Doesn't really matter. Spray control on point. They're just able to hit everything. And in this situation, Reckoning, they just fell short just a little bit too much, especially after a clutch like this, man. I think that the morale of the side of Reckoning kind of dipped down a little bit too much, and Truerippers' adrenaline just pumped up a little bit too much as well in the process. They started losing rounds that shouldn't really be happening, and then JN just gets a ace for himself as well. You know, it's all a process. It's all a storyline. It's all scripted, just as the chat would say.
I mean, even though Jane got the ace, right, you can see there's only so much this guy can do. There are going to be times where he just kills 5 people and he gets you the entire round. But at some point, you're going to have to, start doing some more work on that Euro. And I have to say, I don't stand convinced. Despite your stories, Assassin, I'm a believer.
Yes, I'm an assassin.
I mean, I guess
I'm assassin forever.
Whenever I mention Yoru, the next thing that comes into my mind is assassin. So I apologize, but I agree, aggressive. I feel like Yoru. I have to say I'm not very convinced. Like I said earlier about that Yoru pickup, it's just not one of those things that I really enjoy. The scoreline, though, on the other hand, there's something you don't see every day. Relic on top, the MVP with 22 kills on an Astra.
Yep.
Go figure.
I'm kind of sad, though, that Paradox is not really up there because we were expecting him to take another MVP, get himself on that board one more time for the MVP standings, but it just did not happen on this match. But hopefully he's going to be able to do a lot more when it comes down to match number 2. But for the side of Reckoning, it was a little bit rough. JN's going to be the one to take 18 kills for himself. Bondef also did get 18. Trist is actually able to find 13 on the Euro. This is actually a good thing. BRZ with 14 and Juven with 11. When it comes to the terms of the kills, I would say that they're pretty much even, but the rounds are what matter here. And Truerippers, they were just able to take a lot more rounds when it came down to the trades. They were able to back each other up a lot more beautifully. And the thing about a triple duelist composition is that triple duelists require almost immaculate trading. Because one duelist will always rush on down forward, and he's going to be the one to take the first initial entry. And then there are 2 more duelists which need to coordinate with each other beautifully without even speaking. They need to understand, okay, I'm watching this angle, I need to watch left. And as soon as the right side duelist dies, the left duelist needs to swing around another corner and take down the person that took down the right-hand sided duelist. All of these factors need to be coming into play, and it just really wasn't as present for the side of Reckoning. They were able to understand what they really needed to do right at the very end, but after a 9-3 scoreline, especially a really bad half for them when it came down to their own attacking side, triple duelist composition just fell a little bit too short here. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for the match of Haven. We're going to be heading on down over onto map number 2, but before we do head on down over there, let's make sure to check the links down below in the description to get yourself a good new deal when it comes down to AMD Ryzen processors and WD Black SSDs. And also, as you are going to be down there and if you're watching the stream here, make sure to scan that QR code. That's going to be showing up down below soon enough. Get yourself that can of Red Bull, get yourself energized, because map number 2 could just be an incredible showing coming on down through from both of these teams. And hopefully Reckoning, they're going to be able to step up to the plate and rise up to the challenge as well to take down Truerippers. But for now, we're going to be heading on down over onto a short break, and we'll be back with the real shortly with the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. We'll catch you in just a little bit.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on towards the caster's desk of the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. And as we are back with map number 2 of this incredible matchup of Truerippers going up against the side of Reckoning Esports. If you did miss out on match number 1, ladies and gentlemen, it was a win coming on down through from the side of Truerippers on a 13-9 scoreline. Should have been a 13-6 Floki, but at the same time, I guess it's fine. Yeah. Truerippers, they just wanted to, have a little bit of fun before we head on down over on Smoke.
Absolutely. So a triple initiator con, the only thing that is remaining now is them picking 4 sentinels and 1 controller. No. Screw duelists. I want to see a sentinel only comp. Give me those 4 2-minute rounds. And not really. I mean, I actually love playing this, so it doesn't hurt to play the stage every once in a while. I really want to see a 5 sentinel or 5 controller comp. I'd be so happy. I don't think you're gonna have 5 controllers in the game, by the way, but I'd love to see something close to that. Just get yourself sentinels and controllers, make this game as long and as painful as possible, and yeah, let me just see those slow plays come in.
In a way, it could be a good thing. In a way, it could be a bad thing. We don't really know, especially in Ascent, where I would personally say that duelists aren't as important, but at the same time, it's a little bit important as well if you want to have that jet for a little bit of an easier entry down towards that A side or the B side. But other than the jet, I personally believe that you don't really need any other duelists here. Go in for a double initiator, go in for four sentinels even. It's all going to be working out for you. So let's head on over towards the agent select screen and see exactly what kind of a spicy affair these two teams have cooked up for us. They're not picking anything, not just yet. But at the same time, it could be interesting as well, coming down to from the side reckoning. Okay.
Pretty standard. Okay, I see Relic already hovering over that Cypher. Not going to be too surprised by that. I wonder what controller they're going to go for this time. That's the bigger question for me, at least, on Truerippers. Because they can run the Astra if they want. I mean, the Astra is a pretty solid choice for Ascent, but the Brimstone and the Omen also have their places on this map. It's not like those guys are inherently worse or better than the other. So I'm really curious to see what they decide to do. They pick up the Sova for Master. That's what he's going to be playing. So I can, pretty much always find a place in any composition. So no big surprises there. But the question is, what controller they're going to pick.
Paradox. He's playing around just a tiny little bit. He wants to hover that Sova, or are they actually going to be going for an Agent Roulette? Oh, an interesting pickup possibly coming on down through with that KO. I haven't really seen
Choose your
KO being
agent.
played as often, but Paradox, you're gonna do it. There's no way. You don't have the nerves of Seal to pick it up. He does not have the nerves of Seal.
We are.
No, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. He doesn't have the nerves of Seal to go in for a Euro like that. Euro is one of those characters that you need to have gigantic, giga-sized nuts to try and pick up, and he just didn't have it.
Yeah, well, guess we're gonna be sticking to the boring old Jet for now. But hey, we've got ourselves a very interesting lineup regardless. We're gonna be seeing Relic play that Cypher, and it's always a treat to watch a Cypher because his tripwire setups are actually so unique. Every single time I see him, he's got something new going. Whether it be on the A side or the B side, you just have to watch out for this guy because yeah, I've seen him get a lot of kills due to people just walking into his tripwires.
Yeah, he does have a lot of interesting setups, especially when you consider him being one of those ciphers that you can't really predict when it comes down to how his setups are going to look. Sometimes he's going to be placing the tripwires a little bit too low, sometimes he's going to be placing it high, sometimes he's going to be placing it inside of the site where there shouldn't be any tripwires in general. So it's really difficult to try and break into his setups.
Yeah, but there is no Cypher for the time being, it seems. They did pick up a Killjoy. Interesting change coming in. Relic doesn't usually do that. Or did he go for the duelist instead? Now, okay, no, Relic went for the Killjoy. Let's jump into the game and see for ourselves, right? Why are we speculating here? As side of Truerippers go up against Reckoning Esports. This time around, Truerippers are going to be the ones who are on the attack, and it's going to be the good old B-Rush. Let's see if they can make it work. All the time being, Paradox just jiggling that entry wall for the time being. Now Swan delaying them for quite a bit. The Sage boosting herself with the help of the wall, but can't really find an opening just yet.
A little bit dangerous from the side of one tap God. He's gonna get taken out in the process. Bonnet's gonna be the one to go in for that same going for that kill. Jade's gonna be able to take down one. Trist is also gonna be able to take down Paradox, and with that, the bodies are dropping like flies from the side of Truerippers, ladies and gentlemen. At the bare minimum, the only silver lining in this process is to get this spike plan down, and Bones he's gonna be able to get in Masters. He just needs to get a couple of exit frags maybe, but even that's just not gonna happen. At the very end, they're just gonna get taken on down. The pushes are gonna be beautiful. The crossfires are set up beautifully as well. And Reckoning, I believe that they have woken up after that first initial match, and they're like, hey, I know for a fact that we went in for a little bit of a spicy strategy. It's all our fault, but now we're gonna show you exactly why we're one of the best underdogs in this entire game.
Absolutely. I mean, they're in that second spot for a reason. I mean, they've only had one loss so far. They're not looking to up that number and make it 2. And yeah, there's a very good chance we actually get to see split. But you never know. Truerippers, it's a sleeping giant. You poke the bear, it claws back and it rips your face off for disturbing it from its deep and peaceful slumber. The issue is that for now, Truerippers, they haven't really been able to, break through the defense that the side of Reckoning have put up. So, just to see what their approach is going to be this time. BRZ was a little bit risky with that ghost. He's just going to use the paranoid to back off and get back to safety. JN, though, is going to be able to find a kill with that Marshall. Takes a one-tap gun, but Relic and Master have found themselves a kill each. This is a 3v3 situation, a very doable position here for the side of Truerippers. The question is, where is the spike? It's all the way over with the Omen. Okay, they shot everyone down on Reckoning. Just leave Tristan a 1v3 over here. The Killjoy can be spotted out by that turret. Not really bothered by it. He's gonna move under him to try and fight. He's gonna be able to get that kill as well. 63 HP remaining on Trist. And he doesn't know where Bones is. He suspects that he's on his way over here, but He doesn't have any sentry, any alarm bot to help him out and figure out where Bones might be coming from. And he might just catch him off guard. No, Bones! He does not connect the share of shots. But hey, Truerippers, they make it a very, very expensive second round here for the side of Reckoning.
Honestly, Floki, I expected Bones to just beeline it down towards that B side and go in for a flank there.
Yep.
If he did, he wouldn't have more than ample amounts of time. Just imagine a situation like this. Bones, he got that plan down over towards the side of B. Trist is still fighting two players on the side of A, where the pressure of the spike being planted of B is on his cards. He needs to kill them both, and then make a long run down towards that B side. That would have cut off more than what? Like, I think that it's gonna cut off like 20 plus seconds, or maybe even 30 seconds in the round of the spike timer. Bones could have easily changed it all, but it just did not happen. But at the same time, now it's going to be a game changer for the side of Truerippers because the guns are now in their hands. They're going to be able to play a lot more differently. But Bondep swings around the corner. He's going to be able to take down one tap God, and with this first initial kill, things are going to be looking up for them. Trist is going to be going for one. He's actually going to be going for two, and one by one the trades are so clean. Chupin's going to be able to take down Relic as well, and now Masters. All on his lonesome once again to try and clutch out this round. He's gonna be able to do it. Does get the first initial tap, but he's just not gonna be able to get the second. Jane's gonna be the one to instead just tap it out of existence and send it back to spawn. And with that, 3-0 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, it seems as though Reckoning, the bear has really woken up.
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, Reckoning have been doing rather well for themselves in these first 3 rounds. Now that they actually have a coherent lineup up, it seems that Truerippers are actually having a bit of a rough time to try and bust through their defense. The Killjoy always pretty much playing B. Those I like the switch ups that the Killjoy has been making, though. I saw her trying to go out there a little bit earlier. Oh my God! One tap, God!
Wait a second, how did you do that?
Through the boom bot. He gets the kill. Paradox is also going to one tap everyone out of existence. Truerippers. What a thing of beauty that is. Both, it's your turn to get a one-tap, but he doesn't succeed. You win, shutting down everyone, but is not able to pass to one-tap God, and one-tap God will get the res on Relic, make it a 3v1. Gonna be a super hard position to play from here for Trist, but he has the lockdown available with the initial spray, jumps down like a madman, gets that kill, spots out Relic, gets him as well. The recon that scouts him through. And Master is okay. Guess Master's not gonna be. Yeah, they certainly don't. Yeah, especially not Trist. That was interesting. Master just deciding to never peek.
Biggest question mark in my eyes is why that Masters did not pick up a Phantom that was right behind him when he was walking into from the side of A short. It feels as though Truerippers, they're a little bit confused on their own home grounds. And I don't know what to say about this, but at the same time, hey, I'm really hoping they're going to pick themselves up from this first initial encounter. So.
Yeah, this time around they're going to make a bit of a change up. The Nanostorm setup is not exactly super defensive coming in from Killjoy. Paradox. It's going to win out that duel against Cheyenne. Create some space towards mid. Now your options are open. Could go towards A, could just continue pushing mid, or
Bondef.
Split them through that garden split. That's exactly what they're doing, but you're right, Bondef, he's gone unchecked. He's whiffed though. Oh no!
It's a disaster.
Oh my God, Trist as well. He sticks his head out and gets it clean chopped off, and that's the end of that. 5v2 situation now for the side of Truerippers. The first successful round that they've had in quite a while. Paradox is not done yet. He's going to be able to take on BRZ as well. And Bondef is going to be claimed too.
It's an absolute disaster just because of one small whiff. Ladies and gentlemen, if Bondef was just able to find it, the entirety of Truerippers, they would have been in an absolute state of utter chaos. They wouldn't know what to expect. They would have expected Bondef to keep on pushing. They needed to put resources on towards the side of A short and on towards the side of A long to stop any sort of immediate rushes. But Bondef not finding that just shut everything down right then and then. It does happen though to the best of us. Like, you sometimes aren't gonna whiff shots, but this was one shot you just couldn't whiff to make sure you kept on winning out on the rounds. But at the same time, JN, now he has an operator in his hand and he's ready with his buddy Jubin to make the pain happen already.
Okay. Well, June is gonna be taken out there. Master was able to clean up one with the help of his ult. And now, a lockdown on top of another lockdown, just to counter the initial lockdown that was placed. But the question is, how are they going to push in and destroy that? Well, Paradox is going forward, and they will get that lockdown down. The Killjoy all detained. They got the kill already. Trist holding that area with the Judge in a 1v3. Nope, never mind, he was just in a 1v2.
1v0.
He's going to be able to get those kills. It's going to be A-okay.
Yeah, that was just a scare of a round coming on down from the side of Reckoning on the previous end. But in a way, it feels as though now they're able to stabilize. They know what to expect from the side of Truerippers. And Truerippers, they're not really going in for strategies per se. They're just trying to play for picks. Yeah, they're literally just playing for picks at this point. I don't see a solid execution plan coming on down from them. They're just going around the map, strolling through the park like you would stroll on an aisle when you're at a supermarket. And, you know, they're trying to find the best possible product here. And in this situation, none of them are in their reach. It feels like everyone is just shutting them down as soon as they swing a corner.
Yeah, Paradox, he's gonna be A-okay, but the shock dart coming in towards him. The pain shot's gone as well, but the dash is gonna be there. He's A-okay for now. Yuan's gonna be able to clean up one. Bondef gets the kill on Paradox, but Relic is there to get the trade. Once again, a 3v2 situation here for the side of Reckoning. Should be an easy hold theoretically, but then again, theory and practice are wildly different. Nanoswarm available, and he's going to use that to isolate the fight so that the trade cannot come through. Master just has to watch his teammate die. Nice shock dart. Soften up that Killjoy. Now the recon dart to follow might force the Killjoy to fall back a little bit. He avoids narrowly, but JN through the smoke is going to be able to get that kill. Great stuff coming in here from Reckoning. Once again, just not giving Truerippers any room to work with.
Yeah, that's what you can expect, especially when Truerippers as a squad, the one time that they can do a lot is when they're in your face, when they have a chance to go in for the trade battles that they're known for. But in this situation, Truerippers, they're spreading themselves out. I understand that you want to try and play for the picks here, but if your opponents are just as good as you when it comes down to the terms of the trades and they're on the defensive side, you need a solid plan.
Get out of my way.
Something to give you that edge here, but them solo peeking almost literally everything. It's just not working out in their favor for Paradox. He's just gonna push himself down forward. Bondef right around the corner. And Paradox just flew off of his head to go away. Juman's gonna be able to take down Master as well. And it feels like a Hail Mary of a push here, Floki. Like, they made it work, took it down to a 4 versus 4 situation, and have no idea how they actually did it.
That has to be the weirdest sequence of events I've seen so far. Paradox trying to take out JN, but gets cleaned up, and JN peeks out to get goals as well. Once again, a 3-1 for Reckoning. And it's all down to Relic and his Sheriff. I have to say, I was extremely confused by what they did over there. You know, Paradox just pushing forward, avoiding that showstopper somehow. And now it's Relic in this 1v3, trying to make something happen, but he can't. That was such a weird round. Bondef completely whiffed that showstopper. Paradox tried to take a fight towards A-Main. It's almost like there are two different fights that are happening that really shouldn't be happening.
I think Bondef was just super confused. Does he fight the people down towards the side of A-Main? Does he fight Paradox, who's somewhat chilling behind it? Paradox missing out on like 5 of his daggers, not even able to find a single one. I guess Ascend is a map full of confusion, and we're analysts here, ladies and gentlemen, as well as casters, and I'm just sitting here being like,
Okay.
This game is also a, okay, sure.
Yeah, that was very cool by Jan. Just going out and peeking, and he doesn't stop yet. He's gonna find Bones as well as the control taken out. No more smokes available for the side of Truerippers. This was the buy round, and it's just been, well, let's just say that there's not much of a buy left with 2 players dying. Paradox, if the bullets won't kill him, the paint shells will. One tap, God is going to be able to find the kill and get enough points for the rest. But you still have to worry about Master. Master's going to be able to find one, and it's all down to him. trying to go up against JN. The shotgun will blow him up. And JN, well, meets an untimely death. Bond F quite low. This is probably going to be all down to good old Juven. And Juven, he does have full health remaining, so as long as he doesn't get a bit too aggressive, he's going to be fine. He spots him out, Master. That's good. Not a lot of life spent trying to figure out where those players... What in the hell was that shot dart lineup? My goodness, Juven, what a master of the Sova. The softening up Master and Master. I mean, they know he's low. 22 HP remaining, but he's going to be able to take out Tia. I mean, Bondef was low as all heck. And Master spots out where Juven is, but Juven... No, he took out the recon dart, and Master punished him.
Yeah, especially when you want to take out a recon dart like that, you need to completely rely upon the default boxes. The fact is, Juven, he took out the arrow out in the complete open, and that was the opportunity that the Masters was looking for. That was the overthinking nature in a clutch situation that costed them everything there. And giving these isolated 1v1s over to a player like Masters is not going to end well whatsoever. He's going to be able to make them pay with their own lives and also the round. 7-2 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a problem, but at the same time, not too much because, hey, JN, he still has another operator in his hand. He had enough money to go in for another buy, and this operator could just pay dividends.
No!
It's going to get spammed. Poor old JN. He just wanted to go in for a no-scope bones. You don't have to do it like that.
Opened up shot completely for Paradox. It's his playground now. The smoke is gonna find some time, but the paint shells keep him back. And in fact, BRZ is gonna be able to find another pick because of that. He's an even 4v4, and Ewan playing around the smoke. Paradox did not expect that to come through. Bondev is gonna be able to get a bonus, as well. And now it's just a 4v2 situation. Not much that could have been done there, and Relic finds himself in a 1v3 again. Deja vu for him.
I got the spike.
Yeah, this time around, can Relic actually even do this one? He's not in a good position. He does have the spike though, but not a lot of info. One more point of his lockdown, so maybe he can head on down over towards the side of A main, pick up that ultimate point, and maybe go in for a lockdown play, or you could head on down over towards that B side and possibly do a play over there, but there's not really a lot of time. He needs to make the decision now with only 20 seconds left. He needs to commit down towards that A side. That's all that he has, but Juven, it's just better when it came down to the jiggle. He's gonna be able to find out the first initial player. BRZ gets tapped in the forehead, but that's a 140 from the side of the Phantom, ladies and gentlemen. BRZ's gonna be able to survive and lift Elder Tail on another day. 8-2 on the scorecards, and it feels like the entirety of Reckoning. There's no way to break their defense. It's just too impenetrable.
Yeah, I mean, this is without the Sage, by the way. The Sage is over on the side of Truerippers, so this is incredible coming in from them. And I think a big part of the success is been JN. With that operator, sure, he died last round, he died a gruesome, meaningless death, but apart from that, he's been on point so far, and now he decided to play a little bit aggressively towards being made. That bait acting perfectly for him. They don't expect him to come back. Oh no, they're not even to find the kill, but regardless, will be able to clean up, and Triss will get bones in return as they are pushing out. No respect given over to the side of Truerippers. Paradox, he's gonna walk into an empty gardens area. But the question is, what can he do with it? He doesn't have any help. He only has a shotty in his hands, and they know where he's positioned. Has the spike on him. And he's gonna get spotted. BRZ takes him out. It's all down to Relic with the classic. Gets one, but that's all he's good for.
Feels like it's a reverse silver platter, I would say, because initially when it came down to map number 1, it was a 9-3 scoreline, ending it all for the side of Reckoning, and now it's a 9-3 being served towards Truerippers. I don't know, man. It feels like the entirety of Ascent is playing out like Haven. Initially, we were saying that Haven, it was a compositional advantage and also a teamwork differential between these two teams, and now it feels like Truerippers, they're falling short when it comes down to the team playing coordination. There are no trades. Like over on the map of Haven, they're all playing by themselves, and that's not what you'd expect from a team of Truerippers calibers. They need to be very careful. And JN, he's literally playing with fire. He's playing so aggressively. This could work out, or this could just make it or break it for them. Chilean's gonna get taken down by one tap god, but still the ultimate is present, and Trist is only gonna be good for one kill, not more than that. And just as I was talking about the side of team playing coordination, Truerippers, they proved me wrong. They're gonna be able to take the side beautifully for themselves.
Oh yeah, BRZ, he's just stuck in an awkward position here. There's no way he walked out of this one alive. On tap god. He's gonna clean him up, and Bondef, well, sound of his arrival has been given, and Truerippers, they will take this final round, make it 9-3, but it's still 9-3 half, and if they want to come back from this, then
it's a 9-3 curse. Don't forget about it. It's a set.
It is a curse. It is a curse. I'm not gonna lie about that. But is the curse gonna be enough by itself? I don't think so. I feel like, I mean, everyone on Truerippers really has to step up here if they want to match the pace of Bondef and the boys, because I mean, these guys are not going to give them any openings whatsoever. They have a lot more potential on that offense because they don't really have that clunky Sage. They have that double duelist comp. So, you know, that Raze is just going to be able to clear out areas with that Boombot and that Paint Shells that, in a way that other agents can't. And they can just pretty much try to bum rush aside if they want to. And that's what they're doing for now. All grouped up outside A main. The smoke comes through, but immediate wall from one tap god to buy them time. It's gonna get broken pretty quickly. The question is, are they gonna still push through? Well, the recon down comes through, the paranoia is here as well, but they haven't checked Master, but Master can't find the kill. He's gonna get cleaned up. Paradox not gonna find JNL. Where did he speeding up everyone? Oh my god, Paradox. It just lambs to the slaughter. But once again, a familiar situation. Relic in a 1v2.
Poor Relic.
How many times is he gonna be put in the spot, he asks.
Yeah, Relic is like, guys, come on. I understand I'm the clutch minister for your side, but please, I didn't sign up for this. I'm not getting paid for stuff like this constantly. This is such a bad situation for him. Doesn't even have a lot of information. Has a little bit of utility to work with. Does get spotted out as well. And now look at his bullets. 12 and 6 bullets. He just needs to hit everything now. He can't go for anything wrong. This spot him out. They know exactly where he's going to be headed. One on the left, one on the right. And VRZ, he just played with Relix's feelings in this situation. Just get taken out in the process. 10 and 3 on the scorecards. And it feels like the curse for the side of Truerippers is just not activated. Right at the very beginning, though, Masters, he really needed this kill on towards the side of Bondef. Him not being able to find it just costed them everything there. Bondef just ran on down forward. Yes, Paradox was able to get the trade, but his position was bad. He couldn't get out of it, and Masters was required for the defensive hold.
I mean, Reckoning are pretty much speed running through this whole thing at this rate. You know, I mean, as long as they don't screw up this round, they're going to be in a very good spot. And I'm not too sure if Truerippers have the right response for this sort of a situation. Paradox, that is awfully ambitious, you know, going to a shot for the classic there. And JN has already found Bones, so that B site is wide open. Relic, well, he's gonna get paid so but he gets a through kill with the classic. But JN and June are quick to respawn. As the 2J brothers, they're gonna be able to get themselves 2 kills and make it a 3v2 once again. Relic, that was beautiful by him, but unfortunately, it doesn't amount to much. They don't really have the weaponry to see this through. And Juven on the flank is gonna be able to get Paradox, but does he expect? No, never mind. Sage took the other way. It's gone towards Market. One tap God. Not too sure what happened. I think he lagged out for a second.
No, he was talking to the wall, being like, alright, let's do this. I can clutch it. I got it. The wall believes in me. But I don't think we believe in it. Oh wait, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I didn't say anything. You didn't say anything, Floki, right? I didn't.
Nope, I didn't hear a thing.
I think we believe in him. Maybe. Come on, one tap God, live up to your name.
There's no time. There's no way on earth one tap God pulled it off.
Oh, well, come on, you need to believe it. You didn't believe it in Floki, that's why he lost it. It's your fault.
I agree. I think I should be executed with impunity.
No, you need to be executed with the judge.
Look, I understand I've committed heinous crimes, but you can't just, you know, kill me with the judge. I deserve an honorable death.
Veto. How about another thing? Yeah, we'll kill you with the knife. Even better.
I'll take that over being killed by the judge any day. Paradox. Oh no! He gets shot in the chest. Just down to 26 points of life, but the heal comes through. The smoke means he's gonna have to reposition and find his luck elsewhere. Trist has found the opening. A rare entry coming in from the Sentinel player over from the side of Reckoning. Bondev just flying into the
Oh, no,
side.
Relic.
Relic all by himself. Gets one, looking for the second. Sort of whiffs on that one. Master letting go of the shock dart. It's gonna land on default. Oh my god. The over survives on the skin of his teeth there. And he's lost all of his shields. 2v2 situation now. But Paradox doesn't really have a lot of HP to work with.
Cover going out.
YRC, he's playing with fire. He wants to upgrade to a better gun. He's gonna be able to find it, but at the same time, I don't think they know. They should know that he's inside of the site. That's the spike, ladies and gentlemen. But at the same time, Masters, he's just not in a good position. They need to maybe go in for a swing. Jubin's gonna walk forward. Paradox, he's gone. This is over. There's no way with this stuff. Match point on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing that they can do. Reckoning 12-3 on the scorecard, and they're taking down the side of Truerippers on their home map like this.
Oh boy. I mean, I think they're pissed off after what happened to them on Haven in the last game there. And yeah, what a fitting response coming in from Reckoning. I told you this is going to be a bloody game, and we're going to a game 3 most likely. But not before we see a buy that is scrapped together by the side of Truerippers. What do they have on board? A couple of Sheriffs, a couple of Spectres, shields to go along with those. But they're going to be running dry on utility. Bones didn't even buy armor. Did someone forget to tell them that this is the last round? Perhaps. Well, that sucks. Paradox is going to be able to find one kill with the knives. Starting things off here. The wall is going to come through as well from one tap. It's going to buy them a lot of time. Slow off goes through as well. Peeks out with the Sheriff, but that gun is just not as strong. Elsewhere, right? Actually found Trace. Paradox is going to find another one. Truerippers for the first time in a man advantage. It's all Paradox. Getting all the kills of 4K for this man as he keeps his team in the game.
Gun here.
That's his Paradox for you, ladies and gentlemen. When you need him the most, he's going to be the one to show up. But at the same time here, Floki, do you think that he's not able to show, like, do you think he showed up a little bit too late?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just gonna say, you know, I mean, yeah, sure, he showed up, but for what exactly?
Yeah.
The party's already over. Yeah, they're
He's
about
like
to
that
see
person that shows up for class really late, and then the teacher is like, you're late here in class, you need to stand outside in the hall. And the
I
hall
think more
for the
than that, I
side
feel
of
like the
Truerippers.
teacher just says, you know, you're not gonna understand anything. At this point, you might as well just, you know, enjoy the rest of your time. I don't know, go take a hole in your nose or something. Eat a booger, maybe. Well,
What?
I mean, it's a lot better than just, you know, trying to go into class towards the tail end and understand what's happening. For the time being, though, this B rush has been completely halted by the spidey senses of the Sage. It's one tap god who somehow just knew it was going to be a B rush coming in, and now the Killjoy ultimate goes through. Does he have another slow orb? I think he does. And he's going to drop it down, so they're pretty much not going to get any map control courtesy of that. Bones is probably going to get detained. He's going to try to fight this one through, but they're patient and they're going to find those kills. Master also finds a kill on Mondef with those shotguns. The recon that comes through. And Paradox takes out Juven. Great stuff by him. Trist alone on the side is gonna get cleaned up as well, and Truerippers as well. They might have woken up, but the question is it too little too late?
Yeah, that's gonna be the real question. It's gonna be a really difficult one to say the very least as well. On this 12-5 scoreline, yes, the comeback is very much possible, and we have seen Truerippers actually even come back from a 12-2 scoreline. I still remember that match. And this is going to be a difficult one, though, especially against Reckoning. Reckoning, slowly but surely, they should be able to inch something out and break the side of Truerippers because of one mistake that they do make. The Paradox on this operator, he cannot miss a single shot. One shot missed by him will cost them everything here. He needs to play this immaculately. It's all up to him. If Paradox is not able to show up, and if the A side is taken over, and Master is not able to get at the bare minimum of 2 kills, this retake is absolutely impossible.
Well, they spot out Master. The paint shot's gonna buy him some time to move in, but where's the rest of the utility? There's no smoke, no paranoia. So even the border through the paint shots, he now has to go back as he gets tagged up by that Soa.
Destroyed.
And now, what do you do if you're the side of Reckoning here? Okay, I think I know the answer. I hear a satchel being prepped up, but it doesn't do all that much. Showstopper comes through and they are going in. The paranoia is in as well. Bondef will be able to get the kill with the showstopper. Takes out Relic. No more sentries, no more alarm bots in play here. And JM can be holding on to heaven. That shock dart doesn't do all that much. The recon dart revealing multiple people on the site.
Here.
As Bondef continues to hold gardens. And Paradox, he has a read on this, but he might be a bit too late. No! Bondef whips, but he's going to be able to control and get that kill on Paradox in return. Master and Bones, so they're quick to find some trades elsewhere. They take out JN. And now BRZ and June are also going to bite the dust. Trist left in a 1v1 against one tap god. The sentry comes through and one tap god. Classic looking to make it work. Both players with the Classic battling it out.
Oh no, what is happening?
One tap god. Oh my god. He needs to get the defuse. The nano swap. Oh no, it doesn't touch him. It doesn't touch him, but I don't think he has time.
I think there's enough time. No, Trist, he takes it.
Win.
What happened here at the end?
My god, that was close. I mean, Truerippers, they almost managed to make that work, but in the end, it is Trist who manages to pull through that nano swarm. Even though it didn't land, the Classic did.
Oh god. Like, you can see the shock in my face here, Floki. Like, we are astounded by all of this. We didn't expect any of this to happen. Right at the very end, I thought that Masters gonna whip out a Classic and just slap him in the face with it, but Masters just wasn't able to find it right at the very end, and it does happen. But Trist, he played that beautifully as well. A little bit of a scuffed fight at the very end, but at the same time, hey, he was able to get the clutch, so I would say no harm, no foul. Way they were able to find it all, but at the same time, you would have expected a little bit more. Truerippers, they choked hard at the very end. They had all the advantages. It was a 2 versus 1 situation, but Bones went in for the swing a little bit too early, and he didn't consider his buddy on his side. So let's head on over towards the match highlights, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what went wrong for Truerippers here, because they started off on the right note. They knew what to expect. They knew what they needed to do, but they kept on falling short in 1 versus 2s, 1 versus 3s. They overthought everything, and that overthinking just ended up with them losing out on all of their engagements. That should not be happening here, especially when you have won your first initial game on a 13-9 scoreline, especially when you consider this being your home map. If this was an off map for them, yeah, I would understand that, but this being their home ground, that's very questionable.
Yeah, this is quite sad coming in for the side of Truerippers. They picked this map and they got completely stomped on it. And this is what I said earlier, I mean, a lot of teams, they play this map differently. Sometimes we see the Breach, sometimes we see an Omen, sometimes we see a Brimstone. It really comes down to what the team thinks is good on this map and what they've worked with before. I've occasionally even seen the Viper being played out on the set. It's a very weird agent to play, but I've seen that too. So, yeah, Reckoning, I mean, it seems to me that this should be confirmation that their ideas on how to play Ascent are pretty solid. The fact that they only ran a single Sentinel compared to Truerippers who ran 2, I mean, it should tell them that maybe there is no need for the Sage on this map and it might just be a little bit overhyped. There could be other situations where the Sage is useful. Maybe if they're starting out on defense, we would have seen a different composition coming in from them. But clearly, it didn't seem like they value that Sage as highly. And yeah, I have to say, Trist, he plays all these different agents. He plays the Yoru, he plays the Killjoy polar opposite, and he makes all of them look so good.
Yeah, that's Trist for you, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be able to show up massively for his own squad, but at the same time, Reckoning, they were just looking so clean here. They were taking engagements together as a squad. They were not really going in for fights 1v1. They were able to play out on the trades, and when they did lose out on the trades, it was up to Trist to constantly come on down through with those clutches, and he was able to. Let it be a 1 versus 3, let it be a 1 versus 4. You could always rely on Trist to be that clutch minister for your side. And in a way, Reckoning was able to hold it down strongly for their side, but Truerippers, how did you fall so far short here? The aim game was on point for them. They were not screwing up shots. What they did screw up was when it came down to the team play and coordination and the strategy, it felt like it didn't exist at all.
Yeah, I mean, Truerippers were just completely off. I mean, they had certain ideas. They were coordinating. It's not that they weren't, but they just caught by surprise so many times. They just weren't expecting the side of Reckoning to mount up such resistance. They were going in for some really great plays. I think multiple times we saw them drop their own Killjoy ult in response to the enemy Killjoy ult, forcing out multiple ultimates, slowing pushes down when they need to. And even then, it didn't seem like it was enough. I mean, Truerippers, in theory, they made all the right plays, but for some reason, it just didn't work out today. And I think one of the bigger reasons is maybe you have to look a little bit deeper and analyze the way these teams like to play. Reckoning, compared to Truerippers, is extremely patient. I mean, I don't think I saw Trist play super aggressively, apart from that one or two times towards that defensive, towards that defensive half where he peeked out mid, and the other time where he nano swarmed towards the B main area. So you can clearly see that the side of Reckoning, they're gonna wait things up and they're gonna play it a lot more patiently compared to the side of Truerippers. For Truerippers, it's more of like if they decide this is where they're gonna go once, then it doesn't matter what utility stands in their way. They're gonna go in and they're gonna try and make it happen. And I think that was their undoing. I think that was the downfall. If they maybe gave a little bit more respect to their opponents, were just happy forcing out a bunch of utility for them, was just happy getting a bunch of information as well, maybe things could have looked different. Maybe they could have actually taken the series 2-0, but not today.
It just did not happen for them. The discipline factor was just not there, and they fell way too short when it came down to understanding how their opposition really did play. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's just map number 2. Hopefully, inside of Truerippers, they're going to be able to bounce back from this loss and come back even stronger on map number 3. Hey, we did tell you that this entire set, is going to be going on down over onto 3 maps. We expected it for a reason, because both of these teams, they are hungry and they are ready to go in for the win. But at the same time, I do believe that when you consider the overarching group standings, it's just not going to be happening that beautifully as well, because I do believe that Truerippers are no longer going to be able to get that first seed for himself, because this 1 point was all that the side of Reckoning needed to stabilize themselves and keep that number 2 position for them. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be setting up game number 2, and as we are going to be setting everything up, I'm going to get myself a can of Red Bull, and you should as well, by scanning this QR code down below on this side. Get yourself that can, get yourself energized, and get yourself ready and prepped up for map number 3 as we set everything up on there. And we're going to be back with the real shortly with the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. We'll catch you after a short break.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just as I said, we just had a short little break and we are back, energized and pumped up, just like you should be if you scan that QR code down below to get yourself a can of Red Bull. And as we are back with the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, I am pumped for this matchup here, Floki. Things just could be shaping up to be an incredible one if and only if it's going to be an interesting pickup coming on down through from the side of Reckoning, because they chose defense on Split, which is known to be a very defender-sided map, but at the same time, the agent selection could be the make it or break it for both of these squads.
Absolutely. Now, them starting out on defense probably tells me that they are going to try to pick up some sort of double sentinel comp. That's usually the case. You don't like to run more than... I mean, it sometimes even makes sense to not even go initiators at all. Just go, go double sentinel, double duelers and controllers. Give yourself those openings. But hey, I mean, them starting out on defense, I'm interested to see what sort of composition they decide to settle on. I feel like for the side of Truerippers, there might be a Viper in the mix if they do have a player who plays that Viper. Because Viper on offense on Split can actually alleviate a lot of pressure. I mean, you can just sort of mess around with the Viper wall, set up some very cute plays with utilizing that, and yeah, you can basically cover a lot of ground for your team and just make sure that there are a lot of angles that they don't have to worry about. Will they actually go for that though? That's the bigger question to answer, and I don't think the answer is going to be yes, because I haven't really seen Truerippers ever run that Viper. If they do run it though, I mean, I'm going to be super happy to see it now, because that means we're going to see a much closer split. I think without the Viper as your choice of controller, or I mean, at least as one of the controllers on your team, you can have a very rough time on split offense.
It really does depend on the dynamic. With Viper, it allows you to be a lot more adaptive to the ways you want to try and play against your opposition. But at the same time, the Viper is just a really difficult pickup when it comes down to split because you need to communicate a lot more in comparison to any other map. For example, in Icebox, you can kind of get away with the Viper not really doing much. That's why we see a lot of people play Viper in ranked and not even speak to us, and still we're somehow winning a lot of the rounds. Same goes for pro play. The Viper doesn't really need to perfectly communicate when her walls are going to be going up, when the smokes are going to be there. If you give a general consensus of how you're going to be playing the round, you're going to be able to play it off of feeling. But on split in particular, you need to make sure you give the calls accurately because there are multitude of corners. You swing one angle and there's already another person holding the same angle from your left while you're swinging on the right. You're
Which
going to
is
get caught
right.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why the only approach on split offense for, I mean, the longest time now has just been just try to dump as many flashes and as many smokes as you can in one place, just make it as safe as possible, and just pray to God that you look in the right direction. And that's not a worry on a map like Haven. That's not a worry on a map like Ascent, but on split, it really is. And I'm curious to see how they decide to fill those gaps here. Now, a Raze plus a Viper on offense could actually open up lots of possibilities for Reckoning. Sorry, for the side of Truerippers. But then again, I usually only see Paradox play that Raze. But hey, Paradox Raze on split doesn't actually that sound that bad of an idea. I mean, I think it's a lot better than the Jet.
At the same time, I do believe that Paradox, he is going to be playing his Jet, and Master could be the one to pick up that race because we know for a fact that Master is an incredible race player. And as we are talking about the agents, ladies and gentlemen, let's head on down over to the agents next screen. That's going to be pepped up. That's going to be ready. And as we're going to be heading on down over onto that, I'm really excited to see what the pickups are going to be. And it's actually a Reyna,
Okay.
not
That
a
is
Jet, not a race.
I mean, there has to be a race coming through. There's no way on earth Troopers decide to pick up the Jet over the Reyna on offense, right? There's just are they okay? Never mind, I'm wrong. Well, it looks like there is place for a Jet on offense, and Troopers have found a very quick agent composition comes through. I saw them pick up Brimstone, not really going for that Viper. That's going to be interesting to see how that Brimstone plays out. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, it seemed like a pretty standard composition coming in from Truerippers. They go for the Reyna, like you mentioned, they go for the Jet. But the question is, how do they make this Jet work, especially when you're starting out on offense, right? Because Jet on defense, I can totally understand. Jet on
Yeah.
offense, starting things out on a map like Split, what do you do? Where do you go? You need someone like a Breach or a Sky to set you up.
It's really difficult to get a lot of value out of that Jet unless you just completely mechanically dip your opposition. The Jet's not really going to be finding a lot of value. Or maybe you could use that Jet as a pseudo flash. Who needs a flash when you have a Jet on your side? Make her be that liquid breathing flash that flies across the screen. Everyone's looking at the Jet and you swing around the corner and be like, oh, hey, my name's Reyna. I want to come here and give you a housewarming gift. Maybe a couple of one taps to the head. And then maybe I'm going to suck out your soul in the process as well so you do not get resurrected in your next life. That could just be the thing coming on down through, and that could be the plan that they're expecting. So let's head on down over to the agent's next screen, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna be prepped up and ready because one of the players
and-
actually did disconnect in the last round, and finally Paradox is gonna be picking up the race. Thankfully,
Great,
they went in for the swap.
Yeah, we got debated twice there. Okay, interesting. So Paradox did pick up the raise. JN rightfully so picking up that Jet. They are on defense. They already have the raise. Interesting. Only an Astra as the choice of control instead opting to go for the Sage and the Cypher. Now, the Cypher is something that I've seen Relic play a lot, but the fact that the side of Reckoning are choosing to pick that up is very interesting. The cool thing about the Cypher is you're a lot more proactive than a Killjoy, right? Killjoy is just dump your utility down, wait for them to push in, and yeah, if utility gets blown to bits, well, good luck, have fun. Cypher, no, you have a camera, you've got gauges, you've got tripwires that could be destroyed, but even if they get destroyed, you still hold on courtesy of your gauges, and you get to see where they are with the help of your camera. So yeah, I really like the pickup coming in from both of these sides. That Cypher pickup is always interesting to see because he requires a little bit more finesse to play than the Killjoy. And yeah, let's see how that works out for them.
It's going to be an interesting one to say the very least. And as we are going to be heading on down over into the game, ladies and gentlemen, the main thing that we really do need to highlight here is the fact that it's going to be a Brimstone versus an Astra. A character that is known for aggression versus a character that is known for supportability. Who's going to be winning out in this engagement? The Brimstone, yes, I like it on the map of Split, but at the same time, when you verse it against an Astra, I don't know, man. The Brimstone feels a little bit too one-dimensional. But yeah, with the Orbital Strike, it completely changes the pace.
Okay, well, BRZ, he's done his bit. He's spotted out multiple players, and he's managed to find a pick to slow things down. They walked through the tripwire. They saw that tripwire earlier, but they still walked through it. Thankfully, Bones, he's going to be able to stay alive and make his way back to safety. Where heal is going to be ready for him. He gets back up to full health.
Split is one of those maps that are very difficult to break into, especially down towards the B side. If there is a Cypher holding it. With the Killjoy, yeah, you can try and rush down over into the side if you're able to throw a paint shell or maybe even a satchel on towards that angle where the traps are. You break it, but then with the Cypher, it's not as simple. Things need to be a lot more cleaner. One tap God's actually looking for one kill, dodges the bullet from the side of Bond. That's not going to provide out anything. Triss, though, from the heavens, is going to be able to jump down, get a beautiful one tap down over towards the side of one tap God, but still Relic and Masters, they're still alive. They're going to be kicking here. They are going to be able to find
one enemy
sending
remaining.
it down over to a 2 versus 2 situation. Scratch that, make it a 2 versus 1 situation. It's going to be JN versus 2 incredibly healthy players. JN should be able to swing around the corner, maybe going for that personal kill, but JN! He whiffs the shot, and Masters with the spam is going to be taken out. 0 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. And such a beautiful start from the side of Reckoning, just ended up in shambles right at the very end here, Floki.
Yeah, and Truerippers, this is the start that they needed, right? Because split offense is very momentum-based. I mean, you can say that Valorant entirely itself is momentum-based, but that's accentuated on a map like Split. Because once you have a good start on offense, if you butcher the buy on his defense, you're completely screwed. I mean, this is going to be super hard for the side of the defense to come back from if they end up losing that first buy round. But before we actually go there, this is a very interesting crossfire, and someone is aware the shorty comes through, but it's not going to be enough. They get cleaned up. That's all that shorty was good for. The one pump dump gets 1 kill, and then it dies. BRZ trying to rotate and see if he can find some kills, but there have been paint shots fired in his way. Yeah. If he knows what's good for him, he's just gonna retreat, and he does. He's gonna go all the way back and try and go for the bigger flank, or rather wait for them to push into him. I'm quite sure Master and Relic are making it their way towards him. Oh no, he's not aware. He doesn't know that. Well, it's gonna get cleaned up now. That's the end of that.
Yeah, it's just about cleanup duty right at the very end. They got the frags, they got the kills, and they were able to do it in a very clean fashion. I would say good eco round, but at the same time, it just really wasn't a good eco round. They got the plan. They were not able to get more than 2 kills, which is the bare minimum to get a very decently successful eco round, because you want to try and do as much economic damage as possible. So the silver lining here is that they got a couple of more extra ultimate points, I guess.
Yep. You know what would have made that crossfire work? 3 more shotties. Well, but now it's going to be an all-out brawl towards mid, and guess who comes out on top? It's going to be Reckoning. They find themselves all the kills, and they don't lose a single player in turn. In the meantime, JN, he's taken up a lot of damage. I'm not too sure how he found himself in that situation, but Bondef, the Paradox, goes in, gets cleaned up by Juin, and Bones and Relic are able to clean them up. Okay, so there's an actual opening here for Truerippers. Relic, that timing was just so unfortunate for him. And there you go, the tripwire being destroyed. Should tell you that someone's there, but he expects the jet to be there. Takes down JN, but Bones is caught in for the flank. The big brain play. Oh no, he missed!
Bones! But he reloads, what? This was not a play to be made like that. Bones, you had such a good position. You could just run back onto the side of CT, wait for PRZ to make the mistake, and then go in for wraparound flank. There was no drop sound, but I do believe that Bones, when he whipped out the first initial shots, he just panicked.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little bit of a disaster there going in for Truerippers. A real opportunity in Bones' hands, but, you know, panic, it does get the better of us sometimes. And now they pay the price for it. Good round for the side of Reckoning Esports. They really needed this one because now they're in the spot where they can comfortably sit back and wait for them to come to them. They have the weaponry to try and hold on. And once again, it's going to be mid-aggression coming in from Reckoning. This time it gets punished. Bones is going to be able to find the kill and back off to safety. That's the bigger thing. Just don't give them any more opening. The Sage is dead. The heal is ready. And you should be A-okay. JN put himself in an awkward position. And Master's cleaned both of them up. Has the res at the ready as well. Great plays by Master. And this round has been busted wide open by Truerippers.
I think that BRZ is going to be busting some heads as well on his own accord. Maybe he should be good for 2! Just as I called it, ladies and gentlemen, slowly but surely, it's going to be the entirety of Reckoning. Able to bite back hard, but BRZ, he's just one man. And I think that BRZ's been watching a little bit too much VCT. He pulled out that incredible tripwire that catches pretty much everyone as they're pushing on down through from the side of heaven. It's a good trip. This trip could just give them a couple of round wins as well, but yeah, I think that Truerippers, they have timing in their favor. The read was wrong from Reckoning. They're heading on down over towards the side of A, and the entirety of the B side is up for picking stuff.
You will not kill my ally.
The rest is gonna come through.
Left.
That's what Marcel lined up those 2 kills for back towards mid. And look at BRZ. Oh my god, his time is gonna be beautiful. Does one tap God? No, oh, he knows. He knows he's gonna do it in the nick of time and get that kill. BRZ, lulled into a false sense of security, is gonna get taken out. Just leaving Juin in an uncomfortable 1v4 as Reckoning. This is such a rough spot for him. A lone Astra against the wall. I wouldn't mind just seeing him trying to save or just, you know, going up for an exit frag. Because that's the best he can do at this point.
Just waiting, they're just vibing, and now Juven on his lonesome on a 1 versus 4 situation. Just save that gun, man. Just chill. Maybe this Hero Vandal could work out in the following round when you are going to be forced onto an eco. At the bare minimum, maybe close out that round and bring you a little bit of an advantage when it comes down to the terms of economic damage in the following round. But for now, they just need to head on back. They just need to cut their losses, and they need to try and think what exactly they can do in the following round here. Because now that it's 1 and 3, and now that they're being forced onto an eco with an ultimate in the hands of Bones, that orbital strike could just put a wrench into any of the plans that the side of Reckoning have for this 1 eco round. If they want to go for a rush on towards the side of mid, Bones can just put a stop to that in a matter of seconds.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if they're gonna go for that same aggression, knowing that Bones' ult is up. Could be a bit of a disaster, and I see them just playing it a lot safer. Well, the Lear's gonna come out, and Bondef, he's gonna try his luck with the shot. Okay, that was a good play coming in by Trist. Oh, to be able to get that kill. Well, doesn't matter. The fate did not work out by Trist. Good nade coming in from Paradox as he bullies his own Reyna into submission. But at the end of the day, he is also going to be able to get the backstab. He is well aware of the positioning on the enemy team. Oh, JN, he spotted him out but doesn't get the kill, and Bones cleans him up. Juin, he's good for 1. The Hero Vandal, it's time for it to shine. How much good can it do? Oh, one tap gone. Playing with Juin. That is ugly.
Hey, he went to the gymnasium classes. He went to the gym, he worked out a little bit, he knew how to become Tarzan. He's gonna go up and down the rope, and he's gonna be able to get a beautiful shot. And I want to ask One Tap God how he's actually able to get a lot of these shots. When I do it myself and I'm literally aiming at the head or even aiming at the body, none of my bullets hit them. But then someone else does it from the enemy team on the exact same round or maybe in the next round, and I get instant 1-tapped out of existence. I don't get it, man.
I mean, I don't either, but JN, once again, a little bit aggressive with the operator. There is going to be able to slide back to safety with that dash. He's be A-okay for now. Master jiggling, but it's actually One Tap God who ends up on the wrong side of that operator. BRZ is also going to be able to take out Paradox, leaving them in a very comfortable 5v3. A much needed round for Reckoning as well, but Truerippers, this isn't over yet. Master is creeping up towards mid, and he's going to be able to find a kill. Reddick also wins this individual 1v1. Eventually, though, Master will go down. It becomes a 3v2. A small ray of hope that gets quickly taken away. Bondef going to be forced off of heaven. thanks to that orbital strike that comes in, and now Relic with that Cypher.
One enemy
Gage
remaining.
tried to prevent him from coming in, but
Oh, Jay,
Oh,
what
boy.
a shot!
that was insane. Bond felt the ult, June with the JN with the op. Great stuff coming in from them.
Yeah, dude, JN's one of those players. When he hits those shots, it's absolutely clean. That's when you, well, that's when you are on your own team and you're like, shot. That is something that you give to JN in that situation. The operator's finally paying dividends, and with this operator, this should be the breath of fresh air that the side of Reckoning need to bring everything back in their favor. It's gonna be a clean one to say the very least. Truerippers, they can easily go in for the swing and maybe take down a couple of the opposition here. Let's see how they actually move down forward in these type of engagements. Because Truerippers, it feels like now is the time they will start second guessing themselves just a tiny little bit. But what I don't like here is Paradox in this position. You have a showstopper. You are required for this entry, and you are nowhere to be found near the entry point.
Absolutely. Truerippers, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Once again, they started things off with the Leo towards mid. This time around, they're creeping up towards A. And Reckoning, they can sense that something is off. Okay, that showstopper coming through towards mid. Paradox looking to find a kill. Does do a little bit of damage. No, it doesn't. It is fine. And yeah, looks like that was a distraction that was needed as 4 people start marching up towards A main. Okay, Jew, that's a big gravity well into a concern. Can he actually find the kills? He finds one, finds two. Can he find a third one as well? One the cycle, yes, he can. Gets the spike. BRZ is also going to take out Relic, and that's it. The round's over.
Just as I said, they needed that entry ultimate coming on down through from the side of Paradox, and with no Paradox on A main, they don't have a good entry. That's the thing. Against an Astra, you need something fast. You need something that will allow you to go in for a rush. Them not having that just broke them down piece by piece here. Maybe if they had a raid satcheling in through the air with a rocket on his shoulders, Juven, there was no situation where he should have gotten those kills. Especially after when you consider that was a gravity well vulnerable, allowing him to get all of those kills there. If it wasn't for the vulnerable, I think that Juven would have gotten traded, but oh my god, JN! He's gonna be able to get another one! JN's gonna get third! JN, you absolute madman! He nearly got a sport that he didn't get dinked in the head by that classic! Things are just not gonna be looking up for the side of Truerippers. They're just getting slaughtered one by one. They have nowhere to go, they have nowhere to hide. PRZ has the phone number of one tap god, calls him up and sends him back home piece by piece. And oh my god, JN! What was that? No scope and then into a swing from inside of the smoke from the top side of A heaven? Come on!
Complete change of tempo, aggressive. This is insane. The fact that they're able to just flip this half on its head like that after the start that Truerippers have had, it's just gonna send shivers down the spines of Truerippers players. Because, I mean, you have to remember, these guys were ahead by 3 rounds. And they haven't won a single round since then. Now they're down to Sheriffs. Unless they can make miracles work, this round is not going their way. Juven this time around playing a bit more aggressively with the Astra, holding the other part of the smoke, but Bones,
I know exactly
he actually went and bought up that Phantom, so they had an opening here. And he didn't even buy armor.
Launching smoke.
Wow, that's interesting. Relic, he's picked up the Vandal from the body of his opponent, but Bones is going to be able to find Bond Def as well. Just finding all the openings in the world. And you can see JN, he's struggling. He wants to find this kill. The stim beacon has been laid down. JN takes out the classic, but he gets shot in the head, and Bones, he's gained so much space. But look at B. Look towards B. Paradox. He's coming in with those pain shells. BRZ is going to take a fair bit of damage. The tripwire gets destroyed. One tap got waiting, but Spike has been dropped. And BRZ
beautiful.
has sealed this round shut. Bones, it didn't matter what he did. His Bones, they're going to be deep in the ocean where they belong after his valiant attempt to try and take that round. But I have to say, Reckoning played that round rather well. Despite what happened, I have to say, I love the discipline coming in from JN. He didn't peek the Brimstone until the very end. He was still trying to make sure that no one's able to rush it on the back of what Bones has done, and was just holding the cross on A main instead of just trying to go in for the pick. You'd see a lot of Jet players just rush it and try to kill Bones right there and then get picked off from A main, but not JN. Great discipline by him. Paradox, Well, Jiggle spots out JN and takes him out with the Phantom. That's going to be a big problem here. And now the Cypher single-handedly trying to hold that area down. Paradox is just going to go forward and take that off. No fear whatsoever. And BRZ is going to take that opportunity to get inside that corner. Mid wall has been broken, but there's no one actually holding on to this area. This is completely open. It's just tripwire up towards B to try and prevent them from coming in. And Paradox once again punishes. This man just does not know how to stop Trist. He's going to back the hell away. Get his butt back to safety, and now he's gonna get peeked by one tap god who cleans him up. It's all down to Juven and Bondef. The old duo. Can they make this work? As the Brimstone Molly is gonna prevent them from pushing in.
They need to do something here because at this stage, after that last round as well, it just didn't look up at all. They were playing their cards, they were taking it a little bit too slow, and Reckoning, they're falling short just a little bit. They are showing too much respect to Truerippers, and Truerippers, they're able to capitalize on top of that. They're just able to shut them down piece by piece, and I understand, hey, it's about a save round now. Just try and save these two guns, try and save it for a rainy day, and build up your economy slowly but surely, because you do need to remember, they're running short on money. Slowly but surely, they're getting whittled down piece by piece, so trying to save these guns will be a crucial part in the following roundup. And I personally do believe that the next round, it could just be their final buy round. Actually, no, it's not going to be their final buy round. They're still going to be able to go in for buys for 2 more rounds.
Yeah. I mean, they've had a very good time on defense, right? Ever since the turnaround, so they have enough money left in the bank to see this one through. The issue is one of the players is probably going to be playing a Spectre or Bulldog, but that's okay. As long as the majority of your team has a bunch of Phantoms and Vandals, you're good. Paradox, though, I'm not sure if what he's doing is a good idea. The operator on offense is a bit of a travesty. Although, there are places where it can work. He's going to be using that towards B, and he might find a pick, but with the Cypher having set up camp on that side, it's very unlikely it happens. Oh my god! Oh, do that orbital strike! Oh my god, he holds that with Twist and he bites the dust. Both is going to fight Bondef as well. What the hell have I just witnessed?
Remember what I said? Yeah, remember what I said about the orbital strike? If they push from the side of mid, it's gonna be a lot of crispy fried players from the side of Reckoning. Those bears have been deep fried. Yeah, I think they've been salted in the process as well by Bones' bullets.
Well, Juven, I mean, it was relative to the previous game of Counter-Strike in these sorts of situations. Now I think that hat.
Oh no, Masters, don't do it like
by Juven.
Good night, Juven. Look behind you.
Well, that's the end of him. 6 rounds for Truerippers on offense. They managed to stabilize. Really good half here for the side of Truerippers, I have to say. The defense on split is immaculate. I've seen it multiple times before. The offense is really what they need to worry about, and they've hit the nail on its head. 6 rounds so far. Looking for the 7th one. Yeah, a buy is available on the side of Reckoning, but it's not the best in the world. You do have one of your players playing on a Spectre. So, yeah, you would much rather have that player playing the rifle, but it's the Astra, so it's okay. As long as the utility has been used fully and completely, the Astra's done its job. Now, an A rush is all on the menu. That's what Truerippers are gonna do this time around. As Paradox goes into the side with the showstopper, spots up one player, takes him out. Juven tried to be a cheap little bugger, but is not able to do all that much. One tap gone with the radar on the Empress. It's almost what stands in front and dismisses out as he gets cleaned up by Trist, and BRZ trying his best to spam someone through the smoke there, actually ends up breaking the wall. As a 3-4 situation now, the res available on Truerippers too, but do they actually res? No one's really dead in a good position. Oh boy, Paradox just holding this area down. There's no way how they're going to get out of this one. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's just a desperate attempt, man. He just wants to go for it, but Trist, he's actually able to make his way down towards the side of Elbow. If he's able to get this line up, he's gonna be able to take down too. Trist is very much clutchable, but he doesn't know who's making it. Masters is like, don't worry about it, Trist. I understand. You're my twin sister. I kind of get it. You really thought you could pull off a clutch, but I'm the better one here. I'm the better clone. I'm the one that made you. You didn't make me.
7-5 here for the side of Truerippers. Insane half coming in from them. Sure, Reckoning were able to make a comeback in the middle there, but it seems that towards the end, that train sort of lost steam, and now they're on the offense. The good thing is they have a lineup that can make that offense extremely easy and smooth. You know, just having an Astra who can throw down a couple of gravity wells, you know, throw down a couple of concussors, clear multiple areas is always useful, but then can it actually stop an old man with a Molotov? I mean, he can just throw that down and there you go. It's all the time in the world that you need for the rotations to come in. So they're instead gonna make their way towards mid.
And now it's all about playing. So it's all about playing smart. And Paradox just sends GN back to spawn. Yeah, I think that JN's a little bit salty after that.
Absolutely, and look at that. They're just gonna hide heal it back towards B, where BRZ, I mean, he's found an inkling of map control, but I wouldn't even call that map control just yet. When the smoke clears out, gonna be spotted. Bones, I don't like what he's doing. He's jiggling. He could be in a world of trouble. The smoke's gonna come through. Gonna throw down the molly as well, and it's gonna actually stop them from coming in. The Sage taking a lot of damage from the molly. It's still alive for the time being, but Bones dies to the boom bot there. Paint shell on one side, Boombot on the other. Not much he could have done, but Paradox on the flank. The camera comes in from the Cypher. Paradox, he's done his job. He's gonna back off and let the paranoia take hold as well. Takes his way on the side. He gets one, and that's all he's good for. Now it's all down to Paradox. He doesn't know that he's been walled off from that direction. He's gonna find one. June is also
There's a lot of HP. Come on. Throw it. Yes. Maybe. No.
No, man, he's towards backside. Paradox, he should have an idea of where he is, and he spots him out. He knows, and he cleans him up. Paradox coming in clutch for his team just in the nick of time. As a side of Truerippers, they put that pistol on board, a very important pistol from Reckoning that has been snatched away from their hands. And aggressive, I've seen this picture before. I know how it ends.
The thing is, I think that Paradox just wrote BM by trying to swap his bullets.
Yeah.
Oh god, Paradox on his own fun in games.
That was some wanted level stuff there, just you know, going in like that, backing up, coming back in. Insane stuff. I'm not too sure why Triss was looking towards B main. He didn't
know. He didn't know.
Oh man, that
like he thought that Paradox actually backed off. But Paradox, do you know what he actually did? He made noise when the opponent team started to make noise, so it masked his own footsteps. So he made a stutter step forward and got himself behind pillar. So Triss had no idea that Paradox actually walked into sight. That gave him the best possible advantage to isolate that 1v1, get that kill, damage out Juven in the process, and then go in for a beautiful execution of the scene.
Well, Bones, he's managed to find JN with the help of the Classic, because, you know, Spectres are overrated.
Yeah, true.
But now, they're just holding at mid. They're gonna wait for the Sage Wall to expire, and it's gonna do so very, very soon. And there you go, Paradox, that's all the information he needed. Paint Shell for Paint Shell, buying both of them time and space. But in the end, it's Truerippers who come out on top. Superior weapons doing the work for them.
Yeah, in the end, it doesn't even matter, but at the same time, hey, the Classics could just pay dividends here just a tiny little bit. Yeah, Paradox, if he died here, I would say that this was a really successful eco round, but once again, the entirety of Reckoning, they're falling short once more. They're just not able to close out these games, and that's what's really hurting them. 5-9 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. And slowly but surely, the rounds are just piling on up in the favor of the side of Truerippers, and it feels like their defensive side could just be indestructible as well. When you consider Split being a map that is based upon defense, the defensive sides, if they're potent enough, the attackers have no chance of trying to break into that unless they're going to be able to brute force their way through the first initial kill. And Master, who needs a Spectre when you can one-tap a person out of existence like that? Especially a Raze.
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but JN, he shot off one thing and that Master is dead. Bones is going to be able to get one kill in back. He pulls out his iPad at the worst possible time and gets cleaned up. Reckoning a much needed round for them, and they're not going to be able to get the spike down. No extra money for them. A very expensive round though, and that was just a bonus coming in for the side of Truerippers as they pick up the Phantoms and the Vandals now.
in a way, I would say that the best silver lining for this round in particular for Truerippers was that the spike did not go down. They made the round super expensive. They were able to take down 3 guns and also make JN extremely low, so he needs to invest into armor again. Allows them to win out on this engagement. Completely, I would say. Yes, Truerippers lost. It's fine. They made a lot of mistakes when it came down to the push, and they overcommitted, causing them to lose out here. But at the same time, this round can be easily won by Truerippers, and the entirety of Team Reckoning, they're going to be in the gutters because look at them. 2 Spectres on their buys. They almost have nothing to work with.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was needed, right? Just doing a little bit of damage over to Reckoning. I mean, that's all they were looking for. And now, with 5 rifles in their hands, they can just wait for the fights to come to them. That's exactly what they're doing. One Tap God has already found BRZ to start things off. And Bondif has made his way towards ropes. One Tap God is aware about this, so he's not moving.
One Tap God.
He might be able to
This
find
is
multiple
dangerous.
kills here. Okay, the dismiss, though it does not come in time, but One Tap God has done his job. He's gotten 2 kills, he's made a lot of space, and he's forced out rotations. Okay, Master. He's the only line of defense between them and this D-Heaven area. Oh my god, that's like the result of the spike going down, and then he blows the kneecaps.
One bullet in the ring!
Have the spike.
Oh boy. Well, that's not. The Jet just ended up baiting the Sage, who unfortunately isn't as agile and ends up getting picked off there.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a sad story. You know, when you're the second entry, you're the person who normally wants to go in for the refrag, and then you're the one who dies out when the opponent team is shooting your buddy in front. Yeah, that's gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Trist over there was a little bit sad after what happened. Why you leave me like that? But at the end of the day, it had to be done.
Top 10 anime heartbreaks.
Absolutely. The only chance Jen actually had of winning that fight, but okay, he dashes in, the slow off, catching the tail end of Bones, and he gets that kill. Master pulled out the judge, so he's going to be preventing them from walking into the B side for now, as they hightail their way back towards A instead. And you can see, Relic, he's aware of this, so he's not really moved from the A side. He considered going back towards B, but he hasn't done that. Bones is going to get the
strike is up
on him. And yeah, Orbital Strike is up. I mean, they could get the plant in, but the retake is going to be problematic.
You want to find it?
Yeah, this retake is going to be a really difficult one, especially if they find the precision kill. What can just get some kill and then dips out of the box as well, GN?
Down A.
What? He just walks up, and I'm pretty sure that it's mainly because of the actual divide coming on down through. Juven's actually going to be able to spam out One Tap God. This is very much doable. The Orbital Strike has been used as well. They don't really have a lot to work with, but at the same time, Juven's making a little bit too much noise. He just gets running out, but Juven gets killed. Oh no! Juven, what were those shots?
I have
This guy's
no idea.
nuts.
Yes, somehow Reckoning make that eco work. One of the most insane rounds I've ever seen them pull off.
Very scuffed though.
It was scuffed. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but still, they forced out an Orbital Strike, they forced out a Resurrection, and they still won.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big W coming in.
No. Not only that, dude. They also forced out an Empress.
I mean,
everything was
Empress 6 points, you know. Empress 6 points, so it doesn't matter.
Assassin in the background being like, what do you mean Empress doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter, you know, it's 6 points, you're gonna get it super quick. Oh boy, One Tap God is gonna find out the hard way of the number of people towards that A main area. Bondef, well, he's gonna eat that bait and a lot of damage with it. Okay, Paradox just able to find BRZ to start things off, but they clean up. Although they are a little unhealthy for now. JN, he's gonna get that spike down regardless. 4v2 situation. A doable one if they find the weak links first, but they're all huddled up inside the A site.
Difficult one indeed. They're all chilling inside. And they don't want to give any of the chances or any frags whatsoever on towards that Truerippers. And I'm kind of worried here, Floki. It feels like Truerippers, they're falling into that usual trap a little bit too early. And if they do, it's to that really badly for them because it feels like Reckoning. They have their phone numbers. They're calling them up slowly but surely. They know what to expect, and Bones is just not able to find that kill. That's gonna hurt a little bit. Master, maybe he finds one, maybe he finds two. Yeah, it just doesn't happen. Runs out of bullets at the very last second. Juven's gonna be the one to clean everything up, send them back home. 8 and 10 on the scorecards, and 2 more rounds, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of Reckoning to bring it on back to that even series.
Absolutely. Great stuff coming in from Reckoning here. But now they go up against the Paradox Operator. The only issue this time is that he's not on the jet. I wonder if that Paradox Operator can do work. They are just gonna try to rush A main instead. I like this call coming in. This is actually super clever. They know that it's very likely that they saved up for an operator or they've saved up for a full buy, so they're gonna try to go for mid control. Just bust through A. Doesn't matter if there's a Cypher, doesn't matter who's there. Just try and make your win, and Bonner is doing exactly that. No! He misclicked. He pulled out the Bopon instead of firing the showstopper, but he's not able to clean up. And Bondev, well, he's gonna get dressed for his troubles. Paradox let go of the paint shells. It did a little bit of work, but that's all it really did. And that operator, it still hasn't seen any action yet. Well, I don't think it will either, because he's dead.
Spike planted.
Yeah, it's just about finish everyone off now. One by one, they're dropping like flies, and Truerippers, it feels like their early rounds, mid rounds, and also the late rounds are just not working out in their favor. Especially in these late round phases, when they're trying to go in for engagement, they just get kicked off so easily. Relic, he really didn't need to go in for that push. And one thing that I want to highlight is that Trist, did you actually just use the TikTok wall? Yep, he did use a TikTok wall.
I'm not too sure what that was all about. I don't
Okay,
know.
no. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, now the thing is, I'll clarify what the TikTok wall was. That wall was placed in such a way that you could shoot the toes of players crossing the lane.
That explains it. Okay, and he's gonna live as well to tell the tale. And the TikTok wall for the win. But so far, it seems that Truerippers, they've just not put a single round. I mean, they've put rounds up on this defense, but none of them have been super convincing. It's just the first pistol and the subsequent follow-up round that they've managed to win on this defense so far. And ever since then, it's just been the show for the side of Reckoning Esports. Is looking to equalize the score up. Things could get a little interesting here. You do have a bunch of shares on operator still on Paradox, but that is quickly gonna get cleaned up.
What?
I am not sure. Okay,
What?
Master's gonna find another pick. This is the most confusing round I've ever seen. Okay, so they're able to get the kill onto Bondef with the paint shells, and Bondef himself got a kill onto Paradox with the paint shells. The operator's down on the ground, and now they're hightailing it towards A, where the Cypher has found a bunch of control. So, yeah, I mean, Truerippers, they've just been played like a fiddle. BRZ is gonna keep going ahead and scouting things out for his team, as he's made so much space.
Yeah, BRZ on lurks gonna be able to find a lot, but at the same time, look at the position from Triss. He's holding on towards mid, so there's only 2 players on A. If the side of Truerippers are able to make this engagement happen a lot more quicker, they have the audio cues, they have the sound cues, and one person is going in for that flank on from the side of A main. 2 players are hitting on down through from the side of CT. It's all about positioning, it's all about timing. Whoever has a better timing here is gonna be the team to win. At least you do need to remember, this is a 3 versus 3 situation. The guns are in their hands, and one tap got, he has an operator. If this operator is able to play dividends in any way, shape, or form, things are going to be looking good, but they need to go now, and they need to go in fast, because there's not really a lot of time. And yep, Triss is going to be going for 1 kill. Master, he's probably going to be able to take down another one. Come on, there's no time!
Player standing. 1 enemy remaining.
Oh boy, Triss is also there. He's cleaning up, looking for the kill. He's not gonna find it. And they're both gonna go down to the spike. Great stuff coming in from Reckoning once again. Sure, they sacrifice all their lives, but it doesn't matter. They've got all the money in the world to work with. How does Paradox still have money for an operator? What the hell is going on?
I think that was an operator save from Masters in the first round, and now he's able to get himself a good operator.
That explains it. Well, one tap god is going to be using the operator. Now I like that a lot better. The Reyna just has dismiss that you can use to, scout things out or make your way back towards safety. It's a lot better to give the Reyna that operator over instead of the Raze. The Raze, much better equipped to play in the faces of opponents with the Phantom and the paint shells and whatnot.
Masters.
Yeah, this is a little bit uncharacteristic. Reckoning haven't really done this at all. This is the first time they're doing it, where they've broken that mid wall completely. They just sort of sown in fear to the side, into the hearts of Truerippers. As the utility is going to be dumped now to control that mid area. No sound being heard just yet, and they're actually making their way towards A, where the Brimstone just threw a fresh smoke down, so it's not going to be easy to push in just yet.
You need to be careful because Bones is right on the other side. Needs one kill to get that orbital strike. One kill. If he's able to get that,
Battle out.
this take from their end will be super difficult. Bones is going to go for one. Come on. Orbital strikes in hand. Use it.
Oh boy. Well, Bones, he's done his job. He's delayed them for a while, and now it's all down to one tap. God! But he's not watching out for the jet. It comes and flying and takes him out. Paradox found BRZ, but
Nice break control.
Wrist, yeah. And he's still alive for the time being. Has
30
slow
seconds
arms as
left.
well to slow this push down, and they get a high fielder back towards P now. Just going for a triple around the world.
Relic. Oh, it's over. Relic's holding this position. He can easily cut off the players coming on down through from the side of tunnel. But get it? Come on, Juven. You don't slap the guy like that. He has a family.
Spike planted.
Relic's probably just really brack
You are
Complete,
divided.
from his
Disrespect
because
coming in
what
from
the
Juven.
hell just hit me? Was it a truck? No. Was it a truck or was it a Juven? That's a real question.
It was Juven's
Last
hand.
player standing.
Based on
Okay.
half kilograms. Well, Cheyenne in the end is going to find that kill, and Reckoning looking really, really good on that split offense. I mean, we commended the side of Truerippers for their offense, but, you know, Reckoning are just one-upping them at this point. They've already found, how many rounds has it been? I think they found 6 rounds? Yeah, they found 6 rounds on offense so far. Insane stuff coming in from them. The momentum.
7. Yeah, it's 7, right? Wasn't it an 8 and 4?
Yeah, it was a 75 half. So they've got
Oh,
6
sorry, it
rounds.
was a 7. 6.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be looking to
This
put up
shouldn't
7
really be
points
happening,
now.
especially when Split is a defender setting.
Yeah, they also have the Brimstone, right? But Bones has just been doing this every single time. He's just pushing in aggressively, and he gets cleaned up once again. Went for that naked Phantom, didn't really do all that much. And now, a 4v5. Nothing but Sheriffs and a little bit of utility to help out.
Here.
Relic is just gonna be looking with his camera towards B main to see if
Here.
anyone comes out. Main shots come in from not from Paradox, but from Bondev to try and push anyone in that ropes area away. One tap god is holding there, but it's doing so very passively. And you can see now that the Cypher's actually leaked in towards the A main, or rather the A heaven area, they're gonna try and make them move on A. What? One tap god just cleans him up. And now in an awkward position, because look at what Paradox has done. He's pushed in all the way. He's gonna run in with the.
Oh, no!
Oh. He
Got
had the
caught off
Phantom, but he
guard
whiffed.
for Paradox.
Yeah, I thought he was actually running in with his back towards them, but no, he had his face in front, and now
30
Trist
seconds left.
gonna be placing that wall up to prevent any rotations from coming in from the defender spawn area. The smoke as well as the slow orb. Buys him enough time to get the plant in J and holding that cheeky angle. Not something
One
you
enemy
expect
remaining.
the team with a buy round to
Down
really do.
B.
Now it's all down to one tap gone. Who's also getting it cleaned up. Match point here coming in for the side of Reckoning as
Match
they
point.
don't think they've dropped a single round in the last 6 ones. Yeah, they've won 6 rounds in a row so far. Aggressive.
Yeah, now at this stage, I think it's already done and dusted. One of the biggest questions that I have for Truerippers is that why aren't you guys going in for a pause? The level of momentum that the entirety of Reckoning have on their side is way too much to handle. The snowball is out of control and it just keeps on rolling down the hill. And it feels like the side of Truerippers, they're being buried under that snow. They need to do something about this. They need to switch up their strategies. You need to try and take that pause, but it's already too little too late. 12 and 10 on the scorecards here, Floki. And I don't know how Truerippers can come on back from this.
Yeah, and if you've been noticing, the way Reckoning play this, like I said earlier, has been super slow. They played very methodically. Compare this to the side of Truerippers. They don't see any information, they start pushing. Straight up, no hoots given whatsoever. And they do this on multiple fronts. It's not just one area.
Somebody out.
I mean, look at the Sage. I mean, sure, she had the wall, but she went towards ropes. You have Paradox pushing in B main. PRC is going to be able to hold on to his position. Paint Shell is actually going to end up tagging him up, but Paradox is not able to get that kill. Jane actually pushes forward,
Yeah.
cleans him up. 33 HP remaining. One tap got so many people to focus. Doesn't land a single shot. Doesn't clean up a single person. And
You
Chris,
will not
well,
kill my
he's going to
ally.
be able to keep his teammates
Versus
alive.
5.
Gets the res going as well. The tripwire catches him. And
Spike
Bones. Well, that's a lot of ultimates committed. They're going to be able to get Ju in. They have the showstopper at the ready as well. But didn't really find anyone. It's all down to Relic and Bones.
Versus 5, man. 2 versus 4, sorry. It's gonna be difficult. Bones is not gonna be able to find his kill. Relic's gonna be the one to take down Bond Dev, but in this 1 versus 3 situation, sorry, it's just super difficult. There's nothing that he can do. Jane's gonna be the last one to go in for that swing as soon as he breaks that camera and send Relic back home packing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a heartbreaking loss and a half from the side of Truerippers. We expected them to win here. They had the advantages. They were on a 10-6. And now it's going on down to a 13-10.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. You know, Truerippers. I don't think this was something that I don't think this was overconfidence related. I don't think it had anything to
Yeah.
do with that. I think it just had the general approach of Truerippers. Could just also be due to the fact that they're aware they're making it into the playoffs, so they're maybe not really, you know, they maybe don't really care about the outcome of this game, so they're taking risks and everything. But I feel like this was a bit too uncoordinated for the side of Truerippers.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually, I mean, you see them, they do like to, you know, just bomb rush into sites, but they do it a lot better. There's a certain way of doing it. This time around, it just seemed that if they didn't find any sort of information or any sort of early advantage, they were going to push until the ends of the earth, and every single time they got punished for it. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that I can really say for now.
It felt like just did not work out in their favor. But let's head on down over towards the match highlights, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what went wrong for Truerippers on the map of Split. Because you can hear the sadness in our voice, because it's not because we were really disappointed. Truerippers, they had all of the advantages in their favor. They had the gunfights on their side, but it really just did not work. No
I just
stop to
wanted them to
reckoning.
perform. I mean, I
Yeah.
really just wanted them to perform more than them, you know, actually winning. I just hope that it'd be a lot closer split game because, yeah, I mean, that'd be super interesting to watch. But again, it's just you know, those couple of mistakes that they made, and you know, this round too. This is a round where Bones had the potential to clutch it out, but unfortunately, got a little bit too impatient.
Yeah. The rookie mistakes are what costed them everything here. Truerippers, they had such a strong start. Everyone was hitting their shots. Everyone was able to play it properly. But what happened in the middle here, Floki? It felt like everyone was just doing their own thing. Bones was swinging corners. Paradox was like jumping around like an Easter bunny. And then Relic was there, possibly filming a couple of videos on his camera as well from time to time. He was able to go in for clutches, but it was not with his team. He was on by himself. And of course, JN was incredible. No slough about Reckoning. They showed up beautifully on this game, and they played it perfectly as well. But it felt like they were just playing the side of Truerippers like a fiddle. Like Truerippers, they weren't employing any sort of massive big brain strategy or no strategy whatsoever. They were going in for rushes and they were trying to play for picks. It was pretty much a repeat of what happened on map number 2.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Truerippers, they really have you know, some more polishing to do before they actually make their way into the playoffs, because the playoffs are going to be a lot rougher than this. If they make
Yeah.
these same sort of mistakes, they're going to be out in no time, and I think they know that too. So I'm hoping that they're able to look back at this game and you know, just talk to themselves about how fast they're playing, maybe slow down the tempo a little bit to, you know, have that sense of coherence. It's a lot better to have a slow but a stable push, but over a lightning fast push. But you know, it's a 50-50. Sometimes it works, sometimes you get destroyed.
Yeah, I kind of am questioning what happened in this round in particular. Jay is like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the orbital strike's not going to kill me. I'm just going to dash into it and possibly survive through it. And then a crispy fried jet came out in the process with bolts riddling them. Like,
Yeah,
these are the rounds. These are the rounds, man, that you would think that, hey, Truerippers, there's no way they're going to lose this. And then suddenly, Reckoning, they just flip the script in a matter of seconds.
oh yeah. I mean, one of the more interesting things in that round was just you know, watching him go into that orbital strike. I wonder where he actually thought it was. I I don't think he saw the Brimstone, maybe. So maybe that's why he thought the Orbital Strike was coming in elsewhere. Maybe it might have been towards, more towards the B side instead of towards that main area where the Sage walls from. So yeah, I mean that's the only real reasonable explanation I have. Apart from that, I'm not sure what happened there. But hey, congratulations to Reckoning. They retained their spot. They're gonna be in that second place. Unfortunately, that does mean that they go up against the top seed of the other group. And yeah, we're going to be finding out who that's going to be today. But the question is, can they actually perform against the members of the other group? That's something we're only going to find out in the playoffs because this is the last day of the group stages, aggressive.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a little bit of a sad story, but at the same time, it's kind of expected as well. All good things need to come to an end. And for Group A, this is their last and final game. It's already done and dusted. And when we do see the group standings, ladies and gentlemen, that's when we're going to be noticing how the teams are shaped up when it comes down to this matchup. In a way, I would say that both of these teams, they had nothing to lose here, but other than performances, they could have done a lot more better from their sides as well. Reckoning, they played it beautifully. They had a really slow start on map number 1, but they were able to pick up the pace when it came over onto map number 2 and 3. But for Truerippers, they need to step up massively moving on down forward onto the playoffs, because if this is the performance that we expect from them here on playoffs, I don't know how I feel about Truerippers' chances moving on down the line. But hey, they're the underdogs for a reason. They're the ones who took down Velocity as well, so you never know. It could be in for a lot of surprises as well here, Floki.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping that Truerippers are able to perform up to that standard because I mean they've had a lot of they have a lot of eyes on them, don't they? I mean, ever since the start, Truerippers, Paradox, and all the players have been making waves, and everyone has been waiting to see, at what level these guys are able to perform. Unfortunately, they've always fallen just a little bit short of the mark. And this time around, if they don't fix the mistakes they've made here, it's going to be that same story repeat again. And I'm pretty sure the fans are not going to be too happy about that. But I have to say, Truerippers, I mean, that first game on Haven, at least that one half looked super convincing. I mean, sure, they, towards the end, they started losing a few rounds here and there and saw the finish line and just went for the glory instead without, stepping with caution. But yeah, it's pretty clear to me that what they have was simply a gameplay issue, not really as much of a mental issue anymore. Because I'm pretty sure in playoffs they wouldn't make this, they wouldn't do the same things that they were doing back on Haven.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those things. I do believe that their mental was not in the game as much. They were just having fun. They were swinging corners, and hopefully, moving on down the line, Truerippers are going to be able to show their true forms moving on down the line over onto playoffs. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as much as everything is incredible, I wish the group stages would go on for just a little while longer, but playoffs is right around the corners, and that's where the stakes are just going to get higher and higher. And with this could just be an incredible showing coming on down through from the side of both of these teams. And I wish them luck as we do move on down forward. The scoreboard is readying up, ladies and gentlemen, and so are the group standings. So we still have to watch the replays for just a little while longer. But as we are watching these, Loki, I want your opinion. After watching all the games and considering the journey of both of these teams from start and up till the very finish line here, do you think that Reckoning and Truerippers have a chance of dethroning Global Esports and also Velocity, the new Velocity 2.0 that is? Because it feels like both of these rosters, they have gotten even stronger than ever before.
I mean, I'm just going to say very simply, I think they do. I don't really have much else to add to that, but yeah, given the form that Global Esports and Velocity have displayed recently, if they continue at this rate, they can have a rough time in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Heck, I wouldn't be even too surprised to see a lower bracket, matchup between Global and Velocity. That could very well be.
Floki get it spicy with it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you've seen the way they've been playing, they have been getting a little lackluster. For Global Esports, I guess it's a little bit more in character. For Velocity, though, it's a little bit unfounded. They are usually a team that likes to maintain their level, whether it be group stages or playoffs. But yeah, if they continue playing like that, then I don't know if they're going to be able to, continue their run here. And I'm not sure if Velocity are going to be the season 2 champions again.
It's going to be a really difficult one indeed, especially when you consider all of these underdog teams being able to level themselves up so beautifully here as well. As we are here on the map selection once more, ladies and gentlemen, to check out the score lines. 13 and 9 right at the very start, 13 and 5 on the second, and a 13 and 10 at the very end. A very heartbreaking 13 and 10, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we are so disappointed for the side of Truerippers, because they should have been the one to take it all away, but instead, Reckoning, they were able to dig deep and they were able to activate themselves. And right at the very end, they were able to take away the win from the side of Truerippers.
Yeah, and I think the biggest drawback for Truerippers is just going to be losing out their own map on Ascent. You know, they picked it
Yeah,
up.
that's the thing.
They thought to themselves, hey, you know, we've always got Ascent. We've always got Ascent in our back pocket. No, they don't. Reckoning just completely demolished them, and yeah, it really made them rethink about their approach to that map. I think that's one of the bigger lessons that Truerippers is going to be taking out, that their Ascent is not as infallible as they think it is, and there are lots of better teams out there, especially Force One and Enigma. I remember their Ascent is also really, really strong. So if that's something that they want to keep in their back pocket, they better start working on it.
Yeah, they need to train even more. They need a lot more different strategies that will make Ascent much more less of a aim-based affair and much more of a strategic basis for their side. And one of the primary things, that separate a really, really good team from tier one, from another tier one team is actually the usage of the controllers. Because I personally believe that Omen is not a strong controller for this map in particular. When you consider the playstyle of Truerippers, they need an Astra, or maybe they could just even use a Viper as well if they really want to play a different tone when it came down to that map in particular. Bones picking up that Omen just really didn't do a lot for their side when it came down to that map. But hopefully moving on down the line, they're going to be able to switch everything out and bring in something a little bit more fresh for playoffs, because on playoffs, yeah, it's just going to get even more difficult. The teams are going to be fighting even harder, and you need to consider something. We're going to be heading on down over onto a short break as well as soon as the brackets end. So it's gonna be a massive chance for a lot of these teams to completely revamp themselves, pull up new strategies, and everything that you learned previously about the squads could just not be on the card anymore, ladies and gentlemen. So let's head on down over to the group standings and check it out one last time before we literally close the book for Group A. Reckoning, they're gonna be the top one seed with 13 points, being able to dethrone Enigma. So now the top one and top two seeds are going to be Reckoning and Enigma. The second seeds are going to be Velocity and Truerippers. And in a way, the fifth and sixth positions are going to be Team 69 and Sus Squad, who have kept their positions for season number 3 group stages, so they don't need to play through qualifiers. Godlike are no longer in the game because they don't have a roster. And FlameX Serenity, they had a really, really rough time. They are the youngins of this entire group, and they just were not able to show up, and they will have to fight through the entirety of qualifiers, hopefully coming back even stronger in season number 3 in particular.
Absolutely. The only good news for Truerippers is that their spot is secure, so they really don't have to worry about, you know, winning or losing this game. The fact that they secured 1 point means that they are going to the playoffs, so kudos to them. Unfortunately, Flame X Serenity, they are going to be relegated, and they're going to have to make their way back into the gauntlet through the qualifiers. We do see them again. T69 is our squad, though. We're going to be seeing more of them in the next season. Unfortunately, just not in the playoffs. Somewhere or the other, T69, I think they're going to be a little bit upset with the fact that they didn't make it there, because last time around they did. Yeah. This time around, they fell just a little bit short. And this is the testament to how strong the teams are getting in the gauntlet. I mean, if you want to make sure you continue making your way towards the playoffs, you have to put in the hard work. You have to put in the homework. You have to put in blood, sweat, and tears, and you have to try and make sure that every single day that you come out here, you're ready for the team that you're facing. If you come in unprepared, you're going to be caught by the hip and tossed into a million different positions that you weren't really aware of. And I'm really hoping to see that we get to see T69, again in the next season. Hopefully, next time around, they can actually make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, this time around, they're just not going to be able to find it. But at the same time, Group A has been set, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time for the side of Group B to set themselves up as well. Because you need to remember, this was just the first initial game of the day. We still have a match from the side of Global Esports going up against Team Cohesion and the SK brothers. They're going to be duking it off against one another to see who's the better Jet on the server and who's the better SK when it comes down to their family tree, seemingly. Because all of these SK brothers, they're just a little bit too good for their own good, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, that's pretty much all that we have for you for right now for the 4 p.m. games. We're going to be signing on off. But before we do sign on off, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check the links down below in the description to get yourself that WD Black SSG, to get yourself that new processor from the side of AMD Ryzen. Beef up your setup because season number 3 is right around the corner and you don't want to miss out on any of the action, because if you want to compete and if you want us to cast your games as well, make sure to beef up your setup. Otherwise, if you blame it on the lag, hey, you're not the ones to blame. You didn't go on and check the description for those deals. And as you're going to be down there, make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe button as well to do get notified when we do go live. Because honestly, when you're at the Esports Club, the action just never stops. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive Joy Floki signing on off. We'll be back with you soon enough with the 8 p.m. games with the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. We'll catch you soon enough.